everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome. I'm starting 60 whole seconds early. Probably for the first time ever. I think I'm always usually like 30 seconds late. Welcome. Adam, sad that you missed the baking stream, first one I've missed. If it makes you feel any better, the baking stream that you missed was probably the worst one, technically speaking. We had like a 2-minute dropout early on, and then I feel like YouTube just, like, it kept the stream that didn't happen, and then we were 2 minutes delayed in response. I feel like that's what happened. I don't know. It wasn't great. But, I mean, we made some food that also wasn't great. It's not bad. I cut the borderless bars last night, and we tried them. It's kind of like eating a... Well, the problem is that the crust fell apart. The crust didn't hold together in the slightest. I don't know why. But it's basically like, you know, you serve the crumble, on the graham coconut crumble on the side, and then you're basically left with a slab of icing, like vanilla pudding flavored icing that has some chocolate on top, and that's not bad, but it's hard to eat. Like, it's so sweet. So, oh man, if I need, I'm gonna have to refine my borderless bars recipe. This is what happens when I stray outside the WoW cookbook world. Hi Hazel, hey Alexander. Saw she was having camera problems. The camera was actually okay. It was the connection that was a problem. So camera was good, mic was good, so 2 out of 3, and it was just the connection. One day we'll get all 3. Oh, ow. Hey Norma. Late night grats on your computer. Casey says hi. Hello. My kitty is currently outside. Not outside, but she's in the other room looking outside through the door that goes to the balcony. It's like the screen's closed, but the door's a little bit open, so she can just like look outside and smell everything, and she's like parked there, you know, smelling all the smells. Glad to catch the stream from the beginning. Hello, Hazel. How's it going? Hi, Hazel. Happy Friday. Hello. Actually made a stream. It sounds not ideal. Yeah, it wasn't great. We've had better. I've been having, like, such issues with the baking stream that I was thinking about putting it on hiatus for a while until I just get, like, the computer thing sorted out for a start and maybe get a wireless mic that actually works. I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to take any rash decisions, but I'm kind of rolling that one over because I seem to have problems putting out a decent one, and it hurts me to do content that I know is not as good as I can make it. Thank you for all the leveling tips. Went through leveling so fast. Congrats on your fast leveling. I hope that you're enjoying your new character. Hey Marcy, how are you doing? Looked better than she makes it sound. Big slab of icing. That's good eating. Yeah, so I have a couple of ideas for what to do in the stream. None of them are fun. So I figured I would tell you what my ideas are, and then you guys can tell me what your ideas are, and then I'll pick the one that I want to do the most. And while you guys are telling me your ideas, I can do the Dollar Shave Club readout real quick. But before that, my ideas for what to do this stream. I suppose one of them is skirmishes. It is skirmish week. I don't even know what you get for doing that. Like honor I don't PvP anymore. It was a past life. It was a past Hazel. The other idea that I had that I was thinking of was doing some fishing for the Underlight Angler fishing. I am right now in Bigger Fish to Fry. I have done this many, so all of the Surmar fish and then half of the Asuna fish, and that's about as far as I've gotten, so we could certainly... Oh, hello! I thought you were busy watching the outside world. Hello! Could definitely do some more fishing to try and get those. Alternately, could go fishing in the Argus. The Argus? Sounds like a ship. Just go fishing in Argus to try and get the pond nettle, or at least to try and start working towards the pond nettle. That's another option. I mean, while I'm on Argus, I could always see if I can farm up, like, see if there's any of the mobs that drop the eggs around. Because I'm still, like I said, I still only have half of the mana ray mounts, so I could try for some of those. Could do a bunch of world quests for Valahar to work towards the Storm Drake. I am also open to suggestions. So if you have any suggestions, while my cat rubs on my microphone, of things that you would like to see on today's stream, throw them in the chat, and then for the next like 30-ish seconds, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Dollar Shave Club, who has sponsored this stream and this last month's worth of vlogs, where for $5 at dollarshaveclub.com/hazelnutty, you can get yourself a starter kit that I have on the floor. It's a little bit out of reach. I probably won't take it out while I've got the cat. I would hate for the cat to accidentally shave herself, although it would probably be a very smooth shave, but please don't shave your cat. But for $5 at dollarshaveclub.com/hazelnutty, you can get yourself a razor with 4 refills, full month's worth of shaving, and samples of their shave butter and their body wash and their wipes. And then replacement cartridges are only a couple of dollars a month. So that is at dollarshaveclub.com/hazelnutty, who has very kindly sponsored the last month or so worth of streams. And yeah. What tea are you drinking? I have Green Dragon Oolong. This is the Tao of Tea blend, and this one actually you can try if you would like. I have this one on my Amazon recommendations page. I was just going through that today, actually adding descriptions to everything. That's got to be loud. I don't think she's going to hurt the microphone, but why? Why? But yeah, it's the Green Dragon Oolong from Tao of Tea. It's like a very kind of rich, slightly floral, but not super bitter oolong tea. It's really nice. You got one of those eggs, you hope to get one of the manta rays, you'd be totally down for fishing, leveling. Oh yeah, that's true, we could level the Lightforged. Show us the warfronts you call boring. The warfront testing is only during certain times, they're not available all the time. So far, it's just been during certain warfront testing times. Fishing or Lightforged alt leveling. Heroic ABT, what's ABT? I don't know what ABT is. I'm spacing. You're lucky I have a broken wrist and can't play WoW. Why does that make me lucky? That sounds awful. YouTube loves to suggest my videos. I missed some context there, but I don't. It's probably, that sounds true. Oh, you can't watch today. I went up and signed up a Dollar Shave Club via your link. It's good stuff. I feel like I don't know if I'm allowed to. I don't see why I wouldn't be. I might be signing up for Dollar Shave Club via my link. I want a stream of just the Dollar Shave Club. I don't know if I can. I don't know how many more words I can come up with. Don't shave my cat, now you tell me. I was trying to figure out what to do this afternoon. Got the live notice for your video. She's marking the mic as her own. She does that to everything. She does that to, I mean, everything except for the dog. She won't touch the dog unless she absolutely has to, but everything else. Hi. Cat's giving the stream love. She's greeting us. Fishing or Lightforged leveling. Do your Lightforged level. It's not loud. You can barely hear a purr. All right. I won't worry about it then. You got the bug. Did you fish your friends? 3 of 6 done. Nice. Show us the new dragon mode. Yeah! So there's 2 of them. So basically, what happened was, I got the Blazing Drake. It's just like me to get a mount drop off stream when I've been doing all of my mount runs on stream and I was just checking something. So this is the Blazing Drake that I got. This drops off of normal Deathwing. It can also drop off of Heroic Deathwing, but it will drop from normal. That's where I got it. Madness of Deathwing, so you have to get through Spine. But, so yeah, that was the Blazing Drake. And the Blazing Drake was the last one that I needed in order to get Awake the Drakes, which is this achievement here. Awake the Drakes. There we go. Which has you collecting like red and Nyxian, bronze, azure, black. The hardest ones from here are probably, I mean, a Nyxian, you gotta get a Nyxian to drop, and then Blazing. The Azure Drake is from Malago, so that's another raid mount drop. Some of these are harder than others, but basically you get all of those drakes, and then they will set you up with the Emerald Drake, which is what I'm calling the Toothpaste Drake, because it looks kind of like what I imagine mint-flavored toothpaste would look like if it was turned into a dragon. But because you have to get all those other drakes just to get this one, you don't see that many people with it, and I'm pretty pleased to have that done. Dollar Shave Club in the U or just for the US? US, Canada, Australia, and UK. So if you're in the UK, then you're good, and if you're not in the UK, then I think you're not good. That is my understanding of the Dollar Shave Club thing. As soon as I got the notification that you're live, I hopped on the Priesthood level and enjoy the stream in the meantime. The eggs hatch. Is it the ones that have been opening for Minute rewards? I'll be sad. The eggs that drop from Varga, Nura, Sabul, and Kara the Pale, they're fell-touched eggs or something like that, and they will hatch after like 4 days, and they have a chance to contain mounts. I'm not salty about my PC dying the same day I got it. Beta invite Hazel, tell Norma don't make Hazel lie for you. Hello, hey Callum, how are you doing? Mishka Bear, sup? Catching the stream from work, hope the week's been great. It's been pretty good. I'm really happy to have my aquarium plants in. So if you look in Flood, I made this really small. Let's blow up the fish tank cam a little bit, because I mean, who's really here to see WoW? So you can see I've got some plants in there. So in the back on the left, there's a whole bunch of Java Fern. On the right, on the very end of the driftwood, there is an Anubias, and then at the top floating, you can kind of see that's some Amazon frogbit. So lots of live plants in there. Hopefully that helps with, I don't even know. I'm just really, I'm very, very committed to trying to keep my fish happy. and his tail is still struggling. So the Java moss is going to be here next week, I think, and then basically my plan with that is to pretty much cover the wood. It's going to be sad because the wood's kind of pretty, but the wood also has some parts that I think might be sharp enough to hurt his fins. I sanded the heck out of it. I bought some sandpaper and I super sanded everything that looked like it might be sharp, but I still want to cover the whole thing with moss. And the plants also will help with the water quality. So those are in. That's fun. Everybody's telling me to be worried about snails, but apparently it's hard to find places to buy aquatic plants that don't have snails. And I think that based on how aggressive my fish was with the big snails, if there's a baby snail in there, he's eating it. he lets none survive. You're working on the male elemental pet. You're getting frustrated with the last timed male part. You're not the only one. You're not the only one that's having a hard time with that. It takes practice. Like I just wasn't good enough the first like 2 to 5 times I tried it, and that was with the weak aura. If you're not using a weak aura and you want to, there are weak auras that basically put the names of the places over the male tubes so that you don't have to remember. And after doing that, I think it took me another like 3 to 5 tries to like get the muscle memory down, but then I was able to do it. So that's my recommendation. I have a link to that weak aura in my male elemental guide. So if you look up Hazelnuttygames male elemental, you should find it. Just found your channel. I think you're awesome. Welcome to the stream, Caitlin. Cute cat. Thank you. Hazel, hey chat. Hey, Aline. How long did it take to get the blazing drake? Less tries than most people. Let me see. I think I have rarity now, so it should tell me, right? Rarity. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a poll because I think we've narrowed it down to either Lightforged leveling or fishing. So I'm going to put up a poll so you guys can pick because I don't like decisions. Poll, Lightforged leveling, Underlight fishing, we're going to call it, and we're going to let that go for 2 minutes, say, and let's see here. Start that poll. So you can vote by going !vote 1 or !vote space 1 or vote space 2. And hey, it's actually working, so it should be in the chat now. You can vote in the chat. Option 1 is Lightforged leveling. Option 2 is fishing. With your extensive knowledge of fish and snails, you should totally be a guest on Tanked. I wouldn't say I'm very much a beginner. The reason why I've been talking about it so much lately is because this is like my research phase where I'm trying my best to learn everything. And one of the things that I've learned is that a lot of the resources for learning about fish and aquarium keeping is forums. And on forums, a lot of people very harshly disagree with each other, and there's not a lot of actual solid scientific research to prove something one way or the other. So, to some extent, it's just kind of don't do anything super stupid and follow your heart. The only things that people, I think, seem to really, really agree on is, you know, keep your water clean, do regular water changes, and for the love of heck, cycle your tank before you add fish to it. And everything else seems to be kind of personal preference. Maybe try not to over-medicate, and I'm trying really hard not to freak out about everything that looks like it might be wrong with my fish, because I'm aware that I'm kind of helicopter fish parenting right now. He's just my buddy, and he's so lifeful, he's so full of life, and it would just break my heart if he died prematurely. So I'm doing everything I can to make him happy. And, you know, I put all of those fancy plants in his tank, and he still sits in that one spot in front of the glass and just does this. You see what he's doing there? He does that all the time. All the time. Light on, light off. Day. Not really night, actually. At night, he goes to sleep in his little hut. It's really cute. What was the alternative? So 1 is Lightforged leveling, 2 is fishing for the underlight angler. So fishing, basically. There you go. Looks like Lightforged is winning by a fairly large margin. The green blob is a Marimo moss ball. It's a type of plant. Free-floating moss ball. They're a very popular type of plant for freshwater aquariums. They're very easy to keep. Good for the water quality. Some fish play with them. Mine kind of ignores it. If you have any kind of shrimp, any kind of freshwater shrimp, apparently they really like picking through them and just like climbing all over them, and it's just a grand old time. If and when I eventually add shrimp to my snail tank, I will probably either move that one or get another one to make sure that the shrimp have a moss ball. He wants your soul if he might. Hazel, I also have a betta. His name is Poseidon. That's a good betta name. It's a little one-sided. Not that bad. Not that bad. It is a little one-sided, though. So it looks like Lightforged leveling has 1. And so I'm going to log over to my Lightforged and start leveling. I want 10 of them. The moss balls? You can buy them in bulk. It's my favorite thing. I actually mentioned it in the vlog today when somebody was talking about their office having a goldfish, like in a bowl, and what to do there is, if all you have room, if you're looking for an aquarium and all you have room for is something really small, there is nothing wrong with keeping a freshwater aquarium with just a moss ball in it. You know, they're cute. They live like forever. Like there are moss balls that are family heirlooms because they can live longer than people. And you basically just have it in the water. dechlorinated water. Doesn't need to be cycled because it's just a moss ball, as far as I know. And then every couple of weeks, probably twice a month, do a water change where you like take out half the water, put half in. Even less than half, 30%. Where the heck is my... There it is. And dechlorinate your water. You know, throw a little Seachem Prime or water dechlorinator in there. Super cheap. Like $5 bottle, lasts you 10 years. And every now and then, when you're doing that water change, take the ball out of the tank, put it in the old tank water, and squeeze it a couple times to like get rid of the goo. There probably won't be that much like... Not goo, like... icky stuff. There probably won't be that much icky stuff if it's just the moss ball. But yeah, they're really easy to take care of. What kind of server are you on? I'm on a normal server. I ordered an orb weaver. Should be arriving today. That's exciting. Nice. Thought you said mothball. You know, I don't actually know what mothballs are, mostly because I've never really had problems with moths. They've always stayed outside. It's a thing that I've read about in old books. Like, I'm assuming it's some kind of product that stops moths from being in your clothes and eating them, but not once in my life have I ever experienced a moth trying to eat my clothes. I don't know. I don't know what's missing in my life that hasn't happened yet. Where am I? So what I have to decide how I want to level. I could do dungeons. I'm gonna do one. I'm just queue. I'm just gonna queue. I'm gonna queue for one dungeon. I'll tank one, and then I kind of want to actually go level in like a place. I don't know how much questing I've actually done. I don't think it's that much. So we could probably head it to like Westfall, do some Westfall questing. We had 3 betas in total in my childhood. They were all called Sixten. Sixten the first, second, and third. I mean, that's one way to do it. CPU died on Tuesday, so right now YouTube is my best friend. My condolences. That's a harsh thing. You've inspired me to do more mount runs. They're fun. I feel like I enjoy mount runs the most when I'm not going into it like holding my breath for a mount. When it's something that I just add to my weekly routine that I'm just kind of doing, you know, for like the little bit of gold that you get for vendoring the other gear, like selling any pets that might drop, and also for, you know, just to relax, something to do while you're sitting down, drinking some tea, you know, painting your nails if you're a painting kind of person. Speaking of which, I was meaning to do that today. And, you know, it's just a chill thing to do every week. And then every now and then it'll surprise you and you'll get something good. And then you can be happy and fly around to something really cool. Their larvae eat wool. Okay. So a little wooden ball that you put indoors and stuff. So is it because clothing doesn't have as high of a wool content? Is that why we don't see them anymore? Or have I just been living like a really mystically blessed life where I don't have moths? I definitely used to live in places where there were moths around. It's not like I've never seen one before. You've been thinking about getting an SSD, unsure about what the best ones to get. Anyone have any recommendations? You have a new Cyberpower PC and you want to gradually upgrade it. So basically, there are different speeds of SSDs. If you are just gaming and, you know, you're playing WoW and just basically if you're doing nothing too crazy with it, but, you know, gaming, which one you get isn't going to be super crucial. I would say get something in a reasonable brand name, so don't get just like something that nobody's ever heard of, but you don't have to get the fastest one. So basically what I did for there was I like the Samsung ones. I've never had a problem with them, and they have a couple of different rankings of them. So the Samsung, I believe it's called the Evo series of SSDs. Those aren't going to be their fastest ones ever, but they're still going to be massively faster than not having an SSD. Really good for a drive that has like your operating system on it and your programs and whatnot. They do have a faster series of SSDs called the Pro series, I believe, like the 850 Pro is going to be faster. So if you have extra money that you want to put into it for a faster one, that's what you go for. And then the third class of SSD drives is the NVMe drives. Those actually plug right into the PCIe slots on your motherboard. So a little bit different to install, not that hard. And those are really, really fast and a little bit more expensive, especially to get in higher quantities. Those ones are amazing if you are doing video editing. Specifically, like, you use it for like a cache drive and then you put your project files on there while you're working, and that's like, I don't even have one of those yet. My next computer's gonna have one or two. But they're that's the best one. But for just like WoW and, you know, living your life, internet browsing, doing some Word document spreadsheets and whatnot, you can do perfectly fine on one of the Evo series drives. They're pretty affordable for the size these days. Ow, I need to press some buttons that are better because these buttons are not working. I died. Did I pull too much? Was that me? Is that my fault? Did I leave my healer behind? Where's my healer? My healer's not here. That's my fault. Whoops, daisies. Oops. Oops. I'll just wait. I might be able to get a res. It looks like they've got this under control. 860 Evo. Avoid weird brands for gaming. Pretty much all of them are good. Yeah. Crucial's another one. I've used Crucial SSGs before. Stop it, Norman. No singing. Play WoW, occasionally Fortnite with my cousins when they want me to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say the Samsung Evo series. And get a pretty good sized one. You don't want to be running out of size. Get at least 256 gigs, preferably 500 if you can afford it. Something. Norma, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what you're singing. Did some googling. You could have sworn the fish was called a fighting fish. That's what we call them. No, that's just another thing. Like when as a kid when I was growing up, they were known as Siamese fighting fish. Some places called them Japanese fighting fish. They're actually from Thailand, which I think Siamese is just like a older word for that. I'm not really up to date on everything there, but yeah, the taxonomical name, I believe Betta splendens is the ones that you tend to see in pet stores, like what he is, and yeah, it's all the same fish. It's all the same fish. They're pretty common. They're good fishies. NVMe also plug into M2 slots. True. Yes. Yeah. I'm not gonna pretend that I know the most about them because again I haven't set one up yet. I've done a bunch of reading about them because I really want one for my next rig to, again, like I said, for editing. So I'm not 100%. I've never installed one. I do know they're fast and I do know they're worth it, but I cannot say that I have actually put one in. I did You Are Now Prepared. I'm revered with 5.6k rep. Hang on, where do we want to go? I want to do this boss. Why not? Does somebody have a... is there any reason to do this boss? Bonus objectives? Yeah, why not? We're here for experience, right? I'm the tank. I get to go wherever I want. Didn't work out. I feel like I missed something. I feel like I've missed something. You remember raiding with Day and Robin back in Mists? I didn't raid in Mists. Oh, I was in a guild with them, though. I was in a guild with Day and Robin, and, that was with Joe. Yeah. It was, what was it called? It was called, Trauma. Trauma 2. Thailand is the newer name. That's what I thought, yeah. I feel, yeah. Oh, she says my name, Aileen. I do? Was it Eileen? I'm sorry. Also, Jonathan, this is a little bit delayed, but thank you very much for the super chat. Finally got Void Elves after I quit 2 months ago. That's such a good feeling when you have them unlocked, especially because now you can create any Void Elves that you want. You want a Void Elf Mage? You want a Void Elf Warlock? You want a Void Elf Shadow Priest? I'm apparently biased towards Void Elves as ranged DPS. You're good. Eileen. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I will do my very, very best to remember. I have a family member named Aileen that's pronounced Aileen. That's probably why I'm getting a little bit off. And I got married a few years ago, and Robin flew from the Netherlands to Canada for... Oh! I hope you guys are doing good. I haven't talked to anybody from there in a long time. It's been a while. I see them on Twitter every now and then. There was another dude. There was Jack. Jab. Not Jab. Not Jack. Jab. There was more to that name. Looks like she is half cut off. See more of the mic. Oh, let me fix that. Yeah, hang on. Sorry. There we go. There we go. My bad. Dalek, thank you very much for the super chat. Let me make sure I'm doing the right things here. Hi Hazel, decided to use my boost on a holy priest. Wanted to know if you have any advice for healing, as I've never healed in my life. Also tips because you're awesome. Well, thank you. Tips for a brand new holy priest, I would say get yourself, and this goes for any healer, set up with mouse over healing. You can do that with macros, or you can do that with add-ons. Click is one add-on that does it. There are probably more. That's kind of the basic principle behind voodoo healing as well. I always just used a mouse over macro for it, that basically every spell has a macro that makes it cast on your mouse over, so that you don't have to click the different frames. You can just mouse over them and heal whoever you are mousing over. That's my best tip. That was the only thing that made me any good at healing, and honestly I never really got very good. But oh, I need to taunt. Where's my taunt button? What's that button? Light's Judgment. Oh, it's my racial. Oh, I get like a mini thing of like the ship. Neat. Okay. So next we're heading this way. I have quests here. Oh, it's just for the last boss in the dungeon, nothing special. Jab Cup, we call him Jabberdoodles. That's right. He was on Dave's podcast back in the day. Yeah, Jab Cup. I think the Jack that I was thinking about was Holy Priest Jack, but a totally different person. You don't tell someone to stop singing ABBA. We have a Doctor Who fan among us. Only the most professional streams here. It's because the camera thing. I do have a live monitor with my camera, but because my monitors, I'm kind of like, chat's over here and my camera is like way over here. It's actually out of my line of sight. I might rearrange these at some point to like, I don't know if I really want to stack them. The problem is that they're a little bit big. I think I might have bamboozled myself by going a little bit too tough with the, tough? That's not the right word. A little too. My monitors are big and having 3 of them makes it hard to see all of them. Are you a fan of any comedians? I can't say that I follow any. And I don't know any off the top of my head, so probably not. Most servers are amazing. I'm old school. I use Healbot. Healbot's the same principle, right? Hazel, can you explain how you do the Dragon Soul alt lockout skip? I can't get the normal one to work. You mentioned it in your previous video. So in that video, the vlog that just went out today, I actually put the steps on the screen in text. So if I say them here and you need a reference, in today's vlog, I have it all up on the screen. But basically, the way I got it to work was I had my character that had the lockout. So 7 of 8 normal Dragon Soul lockout, only works for normal. Have that character inside the raid zone. Then create the group and then log over. On your new character, join the group, immediately zone in and accept the lockout. And then while in the raid, after the lead switches over, kick the first character, the lockout character, from the group before you kill Deathwing. That's how I got it to work. I did all those things, killed Deathwing, got the mount actually, and then when I checked on the character that initially had the lockout, oh, that's my taunt button. She still had the lockout. It was still 7 of 8. So that's what's going on there. That's how I managed to do it. I did only do it once, but if it worked once, I don't see why it wouldn't continue working multiple times because the lockout was still preserved on the lockout character. Opinion on Sandlane. I think it would be cool if they add them. I would be a little bit surprised though. Do you have a video on how to solo Spine? I've watched other videos, but you explain stuff really well. I don't have a specific video, but basically what you want to do is if you are not currently, I've been grabbed. If you are not currently running back and forth continuously over the middle, make sure that you are parked on one of the little goo wounds where the tentacles used to be. So you start the fight, kill a tentacle, go stand where it used to be, and then just wait for a while. Deathwing can roll, and you will not fall off as long as you are standing on one of the goo things. So go stand on one of the goo, wait for a while until 9 of the oozes spawn, and then you go and you start running back and forth over the center of the spine. You kill one of the tentacles to get another dude to spawn. As long as you're running back and forth, he won't flip, and that's when you drag the dude over the 9 blood things, power him up, kill him by the border, kill the sinew, and then start all over again. Gotta leave, Sin. Oh no! Husband's out of town. He's gonna be gone over Mother's Day. Oh, that kind of sucks. What on earth does the super chat question mean? Oh, also, sorry, I'm gonna get caught up a little bit. Callum, thank you for the super chat. Just wondering if you could have a tank of any size, what fish would you want in there? So this might change because, again, I'm pretty new to aquariums, but if I could have any size of tank, I think I would want a big one, like a 120-gallon tank with some shubunkin goldfish in there. I really like fish that look like koi, but koi are a pond fish, and I don't really have a pond. I don't know if I want a pond. The jury's still out on whether or not I want a pond one day, but in a tank, I would want a couple of, 5 goldfish, and you need a big, 4 or 5 foot long tank for them, because they need a lot of swimming room. They can get very big. They're basically carp. So that's what I would want. I may eventually, as I learn more about aquarium keeping, want to do fancier, maybe a big freshwater community tank someday. But I feel like I would stress out too much about a community tank with a bunch of different fish in it, because I'd be like, are they eating the food that's for them and not the food that's not for them? How do you keep the fat ones from eating the food that's for everybody else? Make sure everybody gets enough to eat. What if one of them gets sick and then you need to do this thing and this thing? I kind of like single species tanks for that reason. So maybe a big, even a medium size, a 50-gallon, 30 or 50-gallon, community freshwater tank would be cool. But I think my dream tank would be just a really big, nicely aquascaped if possible, goldfish tank. I understand that goldfish will tear up plants, but you could do some really cool rockscaping and then maybe get a couple of fake plants that they can't kill that would look nice, but would also be good for their fins. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms in the stream. Norma just went up me. Good night. How are you? I'm doing quite well. How are you doing? Do you think BFA is going to be trash, decent, or good? I think it's going to be at least decent, if not good, but I'm also not very critical as far as WoW expansions go. I have played ever since Wrath, and I've kind of liked all of them. Even Warlords of Draenor, I will complain about it with the rest of them, but I still had a lot of fun in Warlords of Draenor. I played the entire time. I never unsubbed. I never really wanted to. I thought the raids were great. I had a good time PvPing. I got some collecting done. I thought the questing was awesome. So I think BFA is going to be great, and I'm going to have a great time, but I'm also not very critical. Pawns are so much effort to maintain compared with tanks. It's nuts. That's kind of my feeling. I'm not researched enough to know that for sure, but I kind of feel like a fish pond sounds like something that a lot of things could go wrong with, and then you've got like all of these fish that are not okay. So if I bought a tank, I'd put a paladin in it. I almost cried during Supernatural. I just found out they canceled Lucifer. I'm heartbroken. Oh no. I was thinking WoW in respect to the word tank. I'm gonna sit in the timeout now. Oh no, all good. I've just been talking a lot about aquarium stuff lately. It's important context that I can totally see how you would mean like a WoW tank, especially because I'm literally tanking right now. I totally see how that would happen. Is the Dark Moon hat 10% is 10%? That's true. I don't have any Dark Moon hats, and then I have to go all the way to the Dark Moon Fair. I will after this dungeon go to the Dark Moon Fair and at least pick up the buff, if not any hats, because that's just a good thing to do. And then I feel like I might do some questing after. Can I quest really effectively as Prot? Do I have to go Ret? I don't really want to go Ret. Ret's never been my Jim Jam pajamas. Top 3 favorite mage artifact skins and why? Oh, goodness. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really know what the mage artifact looks like. It's like staff. I know what the Hearthstone card Alaneth looks like, and I feel like that's the Arcane card, so I know what the Hearthstone card looks like. I don't play mage. My mage is my bank alt, and she's level 100. Are you excited for Classic WoW? I am. I am excited insofar as I'm really glad that all the people that have been waiting a really long time will be able to play it. I personally have no interest in it. I've never wanted to play Classic, and I probably won't once it's out. Had the Thunder Fury item in my bank. You did Molten Core, and you got both left and right in one run. There is some luck for you. Grats. If they canceled Lucifer, I know some people who quite need antidepressants. Oh, man. I would feel that way if, actually, I might feel that way after Game of Thrones is over. We only have one more season of Game of Thrones. It's not even going to be that long. I'm so sad. Also, it's going to take a while to get. You have to consider the safety from animals in the pond. Oh, true. True, yeah, because you could, yeah. Ugh. We have some predatory birds around here that would probably be not friendly to a pond. I don't know. What tea would you suggest for someone who's never drank anything other than sweet tea but wants to broaden their horizons? I would say start with a flavored tea because that's going to be the easiest in point for you. There's one, like a flavored black tea, like on harney.com. I'm not sponsored. I just drink a lot of their tea. They have a flavored one that was really nice called Paris, and it's kind of vanilla-y. It's going to be vaguely reminiscent of a Starbucks drink, but you don't have to add sugar to it, and if you want to, you can add just a little bit of sugar. It's going to be way less sugar content than a sweet tea, but it's still like a really sweet, flavorful drink that I think you'll enjoy. Questing as Prod is fine. Pullbeg AoE is your friend. Okay. Good to know. Do I have a kick yet? Can I? Ow! 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 Also, this is a boss. Oh, sorry. If anybody's trying to talk to me in this party chat, then that's unfortunate because I'm not reading it. I should heal myself with this button. What does this button do? Oh, that's my Divine Steed. What else we got? We have, I have Bubble. I feel like Bubble's the last resort, right? That's Taunt. As long as I have Egg around him, it's probably fine. You know, I used to have so much anxiety over tanking, like even at low levels. I would make a bear, and I would get to level 10, and I would just be like hyperventilating, and super worried that somebody was gonna say I was a bad tank, and you know, researching my routes beforehand, and like making weak orders for my cooldowns, and just like trying so hard to tank properly. And now I'm not gonna say I'm better, but at least I'm less worried about it. I mostly have aggro on most things. I'm pressing the Hammer of the Righteous button a lot. That seems to do the job. Not sure what I missed. Have you seen the video World of Warcraft Extinction? You need to see it if you haven't. It's amazing. I have not seen that. Today I tripped and accidentally ripped my bed's canopy from the ceiling, so now I'm trying to sew in a patch while your stream keeps me sane. I pricked my poor finger so many times. Oh no. Oh no. Emergency sewing. Always more stressful than recreational sewing. I feel like most of my... Whenever I'm trying to sew something, it's always something really weird like that. Like, I've never had a bed canopy, but It's always something really bizarre that's broken that I need to fix. And, like, I'm never sewing clothes. Like, if I have clothes that have gotten holes in them, they're probably so far gone that they're going to get more holes. I'll just, like, donate them and get new clothes. Or throw them out if they're, like, far enough gone. But, you know, I'm trying to think of a good example. You know, I've had a couple of WoW plushies. Most of them come in pristine condition, but at least one or two where the thread was, like, kind of unraveled. And in that situation, I did a little patch up just to make sure he doesn't come undone. I have a neighbor who keeps a hefty wire screen over his pond. I mean, that would do it. I would be like, I feel like at that point, if you need to do it for the safety of the animals, then you got to do it. But as soon as it starts like impacting your, oh gosh, I pulled the boss. Whoops, daisies. I'm sorry. As soon as it starts impacting your enjoyment of the fish, I'd rather just not do it in the first place. Like, just not do the pond in the first place. But, you know, if that's what you gotta do, that's what you gotta do. Obviously, the animal safety is gonna come first. That's kind of how I feel about people that do goldfish, but, like, do them in, like, kiddie pools or tubs, like, permanently. Like, as a short-term solution, or as, like, a rescue situation, or as a quarantine tank, absolutely. Seems like a really good idea. But I really want to see my fish from the side. Even if it's gonna be expensive. Don't bubble as a tank, please. Doesn't it no longer lose aggro because you can still attack while in bubble now? I don't know, let's find out. Oh, no, it does lose aggro. I'm clicking it off, I'm sorry. I had to try. Betafish, do you know about aquascaping? I've been watching so many aquascaping videos, and I think I've discovered that proper aquascaping is beyond me. It's just not happening. It's, like, so expensive to get, like, the hardscape, and like, tough to find it naturally, and then, I'm doing my best, basically. I'm trying to observe principles that I can while setting up, like, the plants I've got in there, and doing it in a way that I find pleasing, but I'm definitely not following any hard and fast rules, like, beyond picking things that I think will live in my tank. I am gonna set up, an aquarium plant light there on a timer so that I don't have to worry about how long I'm keeping his lights on. It'll just happen automatically. That should be good for both the fish and the plants. And then I've got some Seachem Flourish that I'm dosing, or I will start dosing, just a little bit once a week, not very much. I find a lot of the aquascaping people, from what I've seen on YouTube, because like I said, I've been watching a lot of aquascaping videos, they're really relaxing, actually. Sometimes I put them on like 1.5 speed to like see it a little bit faster, but like the music is still chill. But a lot of the people at times, like, pure aquascaping is about the plants first, and then the fish are just chosen to accent the plants. People will have to get, like, really tiny fish to make their aquascape seem bigger. And that's cool, but that's, like, a different thing from the hobby that I'm trying to get into. Is there such a thing as recreational sewing? Oh, yeah. People sew stuff. I mean, not, like, recreational sewing as in, like, the actual act of sewing is, like, done for fun, although somebody probably does that. But I'm more thinking, like, you know, people sewing clothes and handmade stuff as a hobby. I would call that recreational sewing. And emergency sewing I would call something broken, I need to fix it, and these are my tools. I once had to sew a friend's shoe at an arcade so we could keep playing DDR. I mean, that's a noble cause if I've ever heard of one. My son gave me a sewing machine for my birthday today. Happy birthday, David! Baby aggro, so cute. Have a good weekend. See you later, Rosita. What made you choose a paladin for your Lightforged? I believe that Lightforged paladin is, like, the most... I just, like, for a paladin, I feel like Lightforged just matches it really well. It's the same kind of reason I play a Void Elf Shadow Priest. Anytime I can match the theme of my race to the theme of my class, I'm all about it. Also, I kind of just was feeling playing a paladin tank again. It's been a while, and I always kind of go back to it. Lion, thank you very much for the super chat. Any tips on starting YouTube? Lots of love, by the way. Tips on starting YouTube, I would say, tip number 1 is, for the love of heck, don't buy expensive stuff right away. I didn't. I used really cheap stuff for a long time, and then I upgraded things over time as the hobby paid for it. And then tip number 2, I would say, is try your very best. If you're trying to grow your channel, try your very best to be consistent. To try and upload consistently. It doesn't matter if you can't do it very often, as long as it's like on a somewhat of a schedule to the best of your ability. And keep at it. I wish I could aquascape like some of the professionals. It's an art form. I was watching, I think it was Green Machine Aquascapes. They have this guy called James, and then they have like a British voiceover guy that sounds a little bit like David Attenborough. He's not, but he sounds kind of like it. Let's get out of here. And there was one, he was doing like this 360-degree huge aquascape, and he was literally crawling in the tank because he could fit in it. and like having multiple people help him move these huge rocks around. I'm just looking at that and being like, I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm literally not strong enough to do that. How much heirloom gear do you have in your tank? I think I have everything. Let's see. Helmet, neck, shoulders, cloak, chest, weapon, shield, 2 trinkets, 2 rings, and pants. That is everything that you can have. I love my aquaponics. I used to sew my own gowns for the LARP I belong to. Ooh. I sewed some cosplay way back in the day, like when I was like 13, 14 years old. I did a very terrible job on it. It did not look very good. Okay, so I'm going to do some questing. I want to head out to... Is it weird that I want to do, like... I guess Draenei, they do their starting zones, and then they just go to the Night Elf zone. Let's do a little, like, Westfall questing. Did I do Westfall already? I don't know. Well, you have a meet and greet at BlizzCon. I'm not planning anything specific. I've never been. I don't really know how it works or what the etiquette is. I would like to meet and greet as many of you as I can, but I'm not planning on organizing anything specific unless... I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I'm mostly planning to just get there and hope everything figures itself out. I made a pally tank. He's a beast. Oh, I can't fly. Oh, it's okay. We're good. Did my super chat go through Captain Pork Chop? I don't see it anywhere here. Oh, no, it did. Sorry. I must have missed it. I'm missing everything today. I'm sorry. Sup, Hazel? I'm working on my Nightborn Arcane Mage. Love it. Nightborn Mage is another one of those race class combinations that just fits really well thematically that I think is really cool. You ever thought about using a basic aquaponics setup? I have seen them. I think the most I would ever do is I've seen that sometimes people will have like a pothos plant with the roots in the tank and then the rest of the plant growing out of the tank. And that seems to be very compatible with this style of setup. But I've also seen them like grow all around a room, and I'm mostly trying to keep it contained to the tank for now. See what else I've missed. I like this because you can heal while damaging. Your first healing class, not bad so far. The green machine's amazing. It's so relaxing to watch. Got to head to work. I'll see you again on the replay. Thanks, Hazel. Have a great weekend. See you later, Jessica. Hi, Hazel. Sup, Jacob? Do you have any tank guides for raids or dungeons? I don't know if you want to learn tanking from me. You can learn how to overcome your tanking anxiety by watching me do terribly and not care. But I don't know if you want to learn it from me. Do you think it's worth doing an alt now when you have a lot to do in your main still? Heroic, Argus, Mythic, etc.? I think you should play whatever you want. If you find yourself, like, Oh, that's right. I was going to go to the Darkmoon Fair. If you find yourself, like, constantly making alts and not getting very far in one of them, then I would maybe consider, like, trying to limit yourself to a few less tunes. But if you feel like you want to play an alt, play an alt. You get your tickets. I tried. I was not successful. I'm going to try again on Saturday. Hi, Hazel. How are you? Hi, Chris. I'm doing pretty good. I have this job where I get to sit down and play WoW for 2 hours every Friday and call it work. It's great. How do you feel about the Han Solo movie? I am really ambiguous on everything Star Wars. It's just not something that I don't dislike it. I'm just not super into it. Where are you from? I'm from West Coast Canada, Vancouver Island. Do you have a P.O. box? The tea here in Scotland, it's a black tea with ginger and different spices in it. You should try it. I do have a P.O. box. The P.O. box address can be found on the About tab of my YouTube homepage. Tank it in 942. Headset or headphones are she using? There's a link to them on my recommendation shops at Amazon/shop/Hazelnuttygames. But these are the Bose SoundLink 2s, I think. They're wireless. Really nice sound. I like that I can pair them to a bunch of different stuff and just switch what I'm paired to really easily. But it's not a gaming headset, so the microphone is this microphone. I have a wireless headset that's not a gaming headset specifically because I have a desk microphone, so I didn't need one. I see a lot of Nightborn monks. I don't think it makes sense. What do you guys think? I think most races don't make a lot of sense for a monk, but that's kind of the thing about monks, is that part of monkism is being very open and accepting and teaching anybody that wants to be a monk how to be a monk. So, you know, Tauren monks might look a little weird, but, you know, monking is for everybody. You made a Lord of the Rings cloak that won me a few awards. Did I tell you I got a job interview next Tuesday? I don't know. Did you say it? You might have. I don't know if you did. Tell me again. I have so much anxiety about starting a YouTube channel. I mean, the only thing that can really go horribly wrong is if you are not careful with your personal information. As long as you're being secure and safe online, you know, make whatever you want. If people like it, they'll like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. And honestly, if you make something, somebody's gonna like it eventually. There's an audience, there's a market, there's an audience, there's somebody that wants to see everything. It's just a matter of finding the people that want to see what it is that you're willing to make. Why are you NA ally and EU horde? Because I am mostly Alliance, but I figured on my EU account I would play the other faction just to have one so that I can do the questing and whatnot. How about the new Predator movie? Can't say I know anything about it. Oh yeah, I was going to... What am I doing here? I'm confused and lost. Oh, I get the tickets. Okay, so let's get on the carousel. There's a talent to taunt and bubble. How do you feel about a guild that doesn't let you raid with alts if they meet the guild requirements? Doesn't let you raid with alts. Like, so you're in a guild and you're raiding on a character and you have alts, and they won't let you raid with other groups on those alts, or they won't let those alts into raid. Because I can totally see a guild not wanting you to bring more than one character into the main raid, because they prefer to funnel the gear to one character to get more efficiency out of you, basically. They prefer to be only gearing up one of your characters instead of more of them, because it's just a more fair way to do loot. Now, if you have alts, and they don't want you raiding on those with other people outside of your own raid times, that's a little bit silly. Need a wireless headset, gaming one. So yeah, not these. For a gaming headset, you want a microphone, and the microphone on these is not something I would recommend. But I've heard good things about the Logitech ones for wireless gaming headsets. You're from the island, I'm on the island, where do you live? I used to live all over the island. I spent at least a year or two in Nanaimo, and I spent most of the time around Victoria. You gambled away all your flip nuts, and my Uber Eats has arrived. Big Bang Theory is a good example of how it is to get BlizzCon tickets with San Diego Comic-Con. I haven't seen that one in a long time. Actually, I know a lot of people online, the popular opinions did not like it, but I actually used to really enjoy the Big Bang Theory. A couple of years ago. I haven't watched it recently. I watched like the first 2 seasons, I think. What race do you think fits Shaman most when you play Alliance? On Alliance? Honestly, when I think of a Shaman, I think of an Orc. But on Alliance, probably Dwarf. I feel like I like Dwarf Shamans a little bit more than Draenei Shamans. Draenei Shamans always felt a little bit weird to me. Their totems kind of look like bizarre smart lamps that Amazon might make. And I always kind of, and even though dwarves came later. Best way to get con tickets is to have multiple people trying to buy a ticket. I was supposed to have that for Thursday, but I made the mistake of only setting up one ticket pool buying partner, because the other 2 that were gonna go in a group, maybe they're getting the tickets later, I don't really know what happened to them. And then my partner kind of dipped on me, so I was trying to buy alone. But I have a pool set up for Saturday, so that should hopefully help. Nice to see you live streaming. Do you have the pet called the Faux Reaper 0.9? I do, the Dead Mines one. Been wanting to start doing videos on YouTube, but I don't know how. So, if you're looking to make WoW videos, your first step is going to be to record. For recording video, like video of WoW, I would say use OBS, Open Broadcaster Software System. Source? OBS. It's free, and that will let you record your gameplay. There's lots of tutorials online. I myself have one out. For recording your voice, you can do that directly with OBS, or I actually do mine separately using another free program called Audacity. So that's recording your stuff, and then when it comes to editing it, there's lots of free editors that you can try. I started with Windows Movie Maker, and then moved on to Adobe Premiere later. And then for uploading it, that's very easy. You just go to YouTube and you upload it. It's the basics, you know, it's what you need to get started. Okay, so I have my hour-long buff, and I need to now we're going to head to Westfall, and we're just going to start the Westfall quest while I have the buff, before I just, like, sit here and talk to you guys for an hour and then no longer have the buff. Won't let the alts into raid. I think that's not unusual. I don't think that's unusual at all. Like, even my guild, like, we'll have casual nights every now and then that you can bring alts to, but otherwise, if it's the main raid, you are bringing your main character. If you want to switch mains, then you tell the guild leaders about that, like, ahead of time, so that they can plan for it, and if you switch mains a whole lot, they're going to be a little bit, I mean, not necessarily, but they can be a little bit reluctant about giving you loot, because it's not, like, if you're known to be flaky about what character you play, they're not going to want to, like, give a whole bunch of gear to a character that's going to then not be in the raid anymore, so I think that's pretty normal. Obviously the loot distribution thing is going to be less of an issue in BFA, because it'll be, like, mandatory personal loot. But yeah, it's not too unusual. Victoria here for years, wonder if we went to any of the same schools. Normal, why aren't you in my guild? Dwarves for the win. I was away from WoW one weekend. Boyfriend said he'd run ashes for me. Sends me a screenshot and he got it. I felt like I didn't deserve the bird. Oh man, you have it though. You have it. You know, I think you extra deserve it because you went through the effort of asking somebody to run it for you, asking your boyfriend to run it for you while you're away, I think is a sign that you very much deserve it. Kind of getting burnt out, even though I need to finish Safari and pet battle stuff. I haven't gotten anything from stuff I've been farming for like the last 4 months. That's always frustrating. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. None of the Safari stuff is going away. You can always go back and do it later. So if you're not feeling it right now, you want to do other stuff, don't make yourself play WoW. If it's not fun, you don't do it. It doesn't go good places. Gotta go, Hazel. Thanks for the stream. See you later, Captain Porkchop. Thanks for coming by, and thank you for the super chat. Audacity. So the silly thing is that I have Adobe Audition now, which is, it's a full price software. I'm not paying specifically for it. It's just included in like the plan that I'm on. I have Audition. It is very much in every way better than Audacity, but I still use Audacity because I have everything set up really nicely. At some point, I'll probably do a quick video about my Audacity setup and how I do my audio processing because it's really fast now that I have it set up and I figured out what I want. And I just can't quite switch over. Until later in the X-Pack when everybody is geared. That's true. That's a good caveat. Once nobody needs the loot anymore and you're disenchanting most of it, then a lot of guilds, not all of them, but a lot of guilds will loosen up about accepting alts. Just got home from my brand new job, get to chill it and watch your stream. It's a great day. How is your day? My day is going pretty good. Check out my fish tank. I got the aquarium plant set up in there yesterday, and I'm really, really, really excited about that. Also, I did his water test today, and his ammonia's actually testing better, so we're doing a fission cycle, unfortunately. I thought I had his tank cycled before I did some stuff, but clearly I didn't. But we're doing daily water changes with Seachem Prime to keep his ammonia down, and it actually, for the first time today, read lower. It's never been at a super stressful level. It's always been under, like, 0.5 or under, so the fish is fine. But it actually read less than that today, and I was very excited because I thought maybe this means it's cycled, and then I tested my nitrites and my nitrates, and those were both nothing. So I don't know what's really happening. Maybe the plants just ate it all? I'm going to keep an eye on it, but I'm really excited that the tank is kind of coming together, and hopefully I'm done this quest already. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm real excited about my fish tank. Gotta take off. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. I've played this game since BC, never done a raid. There's nothing wrong with that. There are so many different ways to play WoW. There are people that do nothing but collect. There are people that do nothing but pet battle. There are people that will PvP but never touch any PvE. There are lots of people that PvE and never touch PvP. There's like so much of WoW that it's actually almost difficult to do all of it. So, do what's fun to you. Just joined your Discord, sent a pic of my cute doggo. Oh, man. I'll have to check that out. Say hello from Peru. It's always a pleasure to see you playing. Keep it up. Thank you. Time lost, Protodrake spawn, and killed before my eyes today. Oh, dear. Oh, man. I would need a hug after that. I don't even farm it, and I would need a hug after that. Job I'm interviewing for is just up the road and is seasonal. I mean, that's a good place to get started. My first retail job my first job was a gas station. But the first job that I had for, like, longer than that, my first full-time job, I guess I should say, I started out as a seasonal temp hire. And then they hired me on as part-time after that, and then they upgraded me to full-time after that. Depending on what kind of place it is, that may or may not be possible, but it's definitely a perfectly good place to start. Can anyone see my typing? I can, yes. After coming back, I realized no one I know really plays anymore. How do you personally go about creating those new friend connections? Maybe somebody in chat will have some advice for you, because honestly, I really don't know. I'm really lucky in that I kind of got into my group of guild right now, because I got into my current guild because my roommate, my husband's friend and roommate, the three of us were living in a house, and the two of them used to be in a guild, and they were recreating it, basically. I was literally living with the guild leader. So that's how I got into my guild. And that's been great. And if that ever falls apart, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I guess I did make some online friends outside of that I made through doing Arena. So I guess the best thing I can say is to do the type of content that interests you. Like if you like Mythic Plus, do a bunch of Mythic Plus. If you like raiding and you're not in a raiding group, try and pug raids. Do the type of content that interests you. Make efforts to kind of talk and reach out a little bit to people, and then if there's people that you click with, ask if you can add them and play with them again. I think that's probably the best place to start, but I haven't done it. There are people that only farm and play the economy. True. I had my phase of that. When I first discovered TSM and finally understood it and got set up with it, I was so excited that I barely did anything else in WoW for like a month. Like I showed up to raid, and outside of that, I spent all my time in Star 1 being like, what can I craft and sell? what can I buy and then sell? You know, and I ran the occasional dungeon because I was like, I need more stuff to sell, and I would just go pick up like wool cloth, great. Malachite, great. Copper ore, sure. Random green gear that nobody wants, excellent. Sell all of it. I was so excited. Gonna be a level 1. Level 1 best level. Making sure it was still alive, not bugged on my end. No, we're good, we're good. Gotta go, gotta get to the hospital. Hope everything goes well, Adam. I don't play WoW, but I love watching your content. I think it has to do solely with how cool you are and the cat shirt. Why, thank you. This is my vindictive silver kitty shirt. It's honestly a little bit warm. I wore it today because I know that I'm almost out of time to wear it because it's a long sleeve. It's kind of a warm shirt. It's not warm enough for like the winter because the fabric's not super thick, but the weather is almost too much for me to keep wearing this. Oh no, we're still working on these. Talk soon. I love to PvP, hate normal, and other raids, love LFR. Hazel, what server do you play on? I play on Lightbringer NA. First time making it to your live stream. I love your content, positive and fun. I have a question, if I can remember what it is. I will be here for at least another hour and 5 minutes, so if it comes to you, just put it in chat and I will do my best to find it. Started playing in BC. My guild used to farm Kara for 6 hours every Friday and Saturday. Friday was main tunes and Saturday was alt day. 6 hours sounds like a lot, but then I remembered oh no, 6 hours is a lot. 6 hours is a long raid day. I know a lot of people do it, but man, I would have a hard time staying focused for 6 hours. We do 3-hour raid nights, and by like the last half hour of it, I am actually dead on my desk ready to go to bed. It's not even that late. We raid like 7 to 10, and it's like 9:30 at night. I'm like, I want to go to bed. Please let me be free. Saying hi from Minnesota. Love your videos. Super awesome. Thanks, Rob. If I want to start playing WoW, where should I start? So, if you're brand new to WoW, you want to get started, you know, buy the game. Get set up that way. Once you're ready to create a character, I would say try and pick a faction, or at least pick a faction to start with. You don't have to commit to it right away, but kind of pick a side that you like, and pick a race that you like. So just kind of look at them all, see what looks cool to you. Don't worry about the racials. None of them are far enough apart to make a big difference for most people. So just pick a race that you like, and then you got to figure out your class. And again, none of these decisions are like forever. You can try different things, you can experiment, but just pick a starting point. And then when you make your first character, you're gonna be leveling for a while. So there's no real like rush to figure out what your favorite thing to do in WoW is and what activities that you want to do. You can try a little bit of everything. You can try different classes. You can make different characters. Experiment, poke around. Reddit was useful for finding a guild. Those guys are probably the only reason I still play WoW. That's probably a good place to start too. You've gone through 3+ guilds where they don't seem to talk in guild chat. They just pick memes on their Discord. Weird. Yeah, finding a fit can definitely be tough. The way I got into my guild was my dad is the guild master. I feel like I have to prove that I don't get special treatment, but it is so worth it. That's definitely a struggle, especially if you're like, you know, or you're related to people. Like, neither me or my husband are officers, but in the old guild that my guild was built on the ashes of, I think my husband used to be an officer. So back when he would raid with us, I used to work really, really hard, probably harder than I needed to, just to prove that I deserved a spot in this casual guild, and that I wasn't just being dragged in there. Not that it was real. Nobody thought that, but I just really, really extra wanted to make sure that I was there of my own, for my own gameplay. Hello from Maine. Hey, Crimson Scourge, how are you doing? You joined an active guild, socialized a lot, got involved in guild raids, offered to help people. It helped that they were great people. Offering to help is usually a good way to make friends with not only people online, but people in real life. If you can find something that either you can do for them or they can do for you, it's usually a good place to get started. You know, within reason. Something not too crazy. Any class or concept of class that you'd like to see in a future expansion? I would love to see some kind of a hunter-priest hybrid, like a shadow hunter. We have a lot of examples of now, of characters like Illyria now. She's like a hunter, but she has shadow priesty abilities. Tyrande is kind of like a hunter, and she has like holy priesty abilities. Vol'jin is kind of like a hunter, and he has like, I would say, shadow priesty abilities. Like, we have a couple of examples of lore characters having these kind of like this whole shadow hunter thing, and that's what I thought demon hunter was gonna be, and then I was disappointed. But that's what I would like to see is that kind of concept. My wife hates you after I started watching your pet battle clips, and now she lost her tank to pet battles. Why can't you tank and pet battle? Pet battles are for non-raid nights, or for before raid, or for after raid. You can do both. I've had trouble making friends in WoW. I might need to change guilds because no one ever talks. There's lots of guilds like that, unfortunately. Hazel, I'm also in Westfall. Will wave if I see you on my 53 Velf Orlock. It's so cool that, man, I mean, it's not cool that I haven't gotten this Murloc clue yet, but it's so cool that you can level now. The level scaling in zones, I haven't burned out on it yet. I haven't done enough leveling for that to stop being cool for me. Eventually it will, because it's not that big of a change, but the fact that you can still be leveling there at 53 and I'm here at 32, and that neither of us are like 10, is just, I'm digging it. Spotting you online is like spotting you online for me. Hectic life. Void Elf racial makes a difference for a caster. We would take a 15-minute break every 2 hours or so, but our whole weekend was pretty much planned out with 6-hour raid days. Yeah, that's hardcore. That's definitely a lot. Is it just me or did the fish get new stuff in its tank? It is not just you. He's got some new plants in there, and then I took the fake plants out of there. So he's got Anubias, he's got Java Fern, and there is some frogbit floating in the tank. And there's also going to be moss. I'm going to add some moss to the wood and moss to the bridge eventually, when it gets here. It should be here next week, I think. Hard to say. But yeah, I've been slowly moving stuff around to try and keep him occupied and to keep him. Eventually, like once it's done, like all the plants are installed, I'm probably gonna like leave it be to let him get used to it. But for now, there's the Murloc clue. While we're installing stuff. What do you think of the Elder Scrolls series? I played more Oblivion than I played Skyrim. Skyrim always made me really motion sick, which was weird because I was able to play Oblivion just fine. But Skyrim made me really motion sick. Probably because I played the intro like over and over again, because I would try and start the game and I'd play the intro and I'd get motion sick with like all the dragging and the town shaking, and then I'd finish the intro and I'd be like, man, I'm motion sick, and I wouldn't play it for like 6 months. And then when I went back to Skyrim, I would start over again because I didn't remember how I made my other character. But, yeah, I played a lot of Oblivion. When I first moved out of my parents' house on my own, I didn't have internet for like 2 weeks while it was getting set up. And that meant I couldn't play WoW, which was tragic for me. So all I had was a copy of Oblivion, and I played a lot of Oblivion during that time. Frog Raider, thank you very much for the super chat. I've actually started doing pet battles just from watching your stream. Still don't feel comfortable, but getting the hang of it. It's hard to do it wrong, you know? If you don't win against a trainer, you can try something else, and eventually you'll find something that you got that works. And then you're pretty much all set. Do a little bit of everything. There's always something to do. I kind of feel the same way. There's no particular activity in WoW that... There's only one particular activity in WoW that I actually have no interest in doing, and that is tabard collecting. I don't wear tabards. I don't need them. Keep the tabards. Everything else I will do. Pet battles like Pokemon? Yeah. Exactly like Pokemon. Not exactly. Mostly. Quite a strong resemblance to Pokemon. 13th anniversary since the Leroy Jenkins video. Is that really 13 years old now? Oh, man. Oh, man. Tips for starting a Void Elf Shadow Priest? Yeah, so I have a video with leveling tips for post-zone scaling. Basically, gist of it is choose the lower level zones, such as like Westfall, Duskwood, Darkshore, Ashenvale, that kind of thing. And then for Void Elf, nothing super different. I honestly, like, you probably should make use of the teleport racial, but I never did. Nvme. I'm not sure how to say your name, but thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I don't know if the alerts have been working. I haven't been hearing them, which is not a good sign. I need to double check that those are happening, but thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. I hope that you enjoy the emotes. We have a whole set of sponsor emotes. If you are a YouTube sponsor, you are able to use all of the custom Hazel emotes. They're listed in the description, and then if you just start typing colon and then Hazel, they should pop up for you. Love watching your videos, so glad that I found them. Hazel, did you touch the straightening iron after the video? Your natural curls are sick. Aw, thank you. I just put my hair up today. They're still curly. It's just up right now. But if it makes you feel any better, I don't straighten it every day. Basically what I do is, I like it, the way that I prefer to wear it that I'm comfortable with is not flat and straight, but like longer and kind of wavy, because it's when super curly, it gets really fluffy. And it tends to get frizzier, and I feel like it feels more damaged, even though I know straightening's bad for it, so I usually straighten it about once a week, and then I just kind of let it, like, wave out from there without getting it wet. I just keep it clean with dry shampoo, and then, my hair is so dry that it doesn't need shampooing very often anyways. Connor, thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad, and I hope that you enjoy the emotes. Watching your vlog. Died a little inside when you said you don't eat chicken. Was making chicken soup for dinner. I'm not against other people eating chicken. I just don't eat, I don't eat chicken. Pets are like Pokemon. You have to collect them all. Need more WoW theme in your fish tank. If I was going to set up a theme, there's the alert. There it is. I don't know why I can't hear it. Maybe are my headphones on? Maybe. Oh, there it is. There it is. At least the alert's working. Yeah, if I was gonna do a theme, I would probably add more Soul Dynasty themed things, because Fleta is named after a Soul Dynasty member, and the snails are too, even though they've been evicted to a different tank. But I would want like tiger themed stuff for that reason. But I got an aquarium background because I heard that can help with fish that are agitated by the glass. I tried an aquarium background. I had to immediately take it down because apparently it made it very reflective. I kind of thought that he was seeing his reflection, but I now realize that he was not, because I've now seen what it looks like when he is seeing his reflection, and it is very different. Having the background on the back of the tank made it basically into a mirror, and he was not. He was very adamant about trying to fight himself, so I had to take that down. Beach wavy look, always classic. Night night, have fun. Tried your method, it doesn't work, was worth a shot. The raid lockout claims it's up, you enter with a lockout and it's cleared. Oh no. Man, you know, I didn't try another character because I had the mount drop. I just checked the lockout and it said it was up. That's really weird. I should pin that to the vlog then. Is the way in pet journal or other add-on to search my pets for the ones with the spells? So, damage to a different type. Yeah, so basically, you want, or at least the way I do this, I think Rematch will do it as well, but I do it with Pet Journal Enhanced. It gives me these extra filters, so you would go ability type, and then flying, for example, if you want to have extra damage against aquatic types. You still need to know which types are strong against which types, but that lets you filter pets by ability type, and also pets by, you know, pet family. So that's how I do that. Yeah, that's how I do that. Running for Anzu, hope he drops today. Good luck. Vegetarian, vegan, just don't eat chicken. I am a pescatarian, is technical. So I do not eat red meat. I don't eat chicken. I do eat fish and seafood. I'm basically a vegetarian that eats fish. So I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm a pescatarian. And I do eat animal products. So honey is fine, eggs fine, dairy fine, cheese fine. How much have I missed? About half of it. Ever since I watched a video of you raid locking ICC, I've been wanting to lock every raid. I found a way to lock Ulduar, and I'm so happy. Nice. Love your hair. Thank you. I have the stuff to redo it. I've been meaning... I'm so not looking forward to trying to... Why do I not have credit for this yet? I saw them talking. I feel like I need to try that again. Oh, gosh. I'm not looking forward to trying to lighten my roots without getting bleach on the rest of my hair, because I think I'm going to have to get help for the back of it, but oof. Got my mage's class hell mount an hour ago. That makes 5 classes. I have their mounts for it. Nice. I really like the mage one. A lot of people made fun of it, but I thought the mage, like the flying disc, was really cool. I love your sweater. I thank you. What do you think about being able to have dual class abilities? You can be a priest, but through a campaign you can learn some sort of fused abilities with a hunter. It sounds like an idea that sounds cool initially, but sounds like it has so many possible permutations that there would be effects that I can't think of right now that would probably be really bad. There's probably a reason that I can't think of right now why that is a really bad idea. It sounds cool. It sounds cool, but it's one of those things that sounds like it could get weird. Just hopped in. Hope the stream's going well. We're doing pretty good. Vegetarian set for fish, because F them, right? I've gone through all sorts of different reasonings and logics and justification in my life for why I eat that way, and I think I eventually landed on that's just how I want to eat. The only logic left that still works is I'm only eating animals that I would kill. I didn't personally kill the fish that I'm eating, but I have killed fish in the past, and I would do so again. It didn't really give me nightmares, but I wouldn't personally kill, like with my own hands, I wouldn't kill a chicken. I had opportunities to as a child, and I opted out of them. I did not want anything to do with that. And then I made peace with the moral quandary there by deciding I didn't want to eat chicken anymore. So happy with the High Mountain Torn, already level 2 to max level, just wish they had more classes. The Monk Man was the best. What kind of a fish is that? Back there? That is a betta fish. Also known as a fighting fish. He's a beta. His name is Fleta. He is marketed to me as a dragon scale, but I've since realized that it's very unlikely that he's a dragon scale. He is probably just metallic. He's kind of shiny. He's got kind of shiny scales, but he's a good boy. I'm kind of thinking I might, next time you see his tank, he might have water that looks a little bit darker. I might add a bunch more of the almond leaves to his water. They basically just release it makes the water look a little bit browner, but it releases stuff into the water that's good for his fins, and his fins are still healing. He chews on his tail fin. It drives me nuts. Would you recommend using Zygor guides? I've never used them, so I can't recommend it. Hair is so cool. The trolls are shaking. Damn fish nightmares, though. Fish nightmares. Sounds fancy. Beta. He is a beta. Some people will call it a beta. I think the correct pronunciation is beta, but so many people that are really experienced with beta fish call them betas that I don't think anybody's going to fight you for trying to say it other way. Alright, so I can't believe I still haven't killed enough kobolds here. I feel like we're going really slowly. What level was I when I started this? I guess we're almost 33. We're almost 33. Is Dungeons faster now? I know that when Lightforged and Void Elves and whatnot first came out, Dungeons were not faster. But I also know they hotfixed it. I just don't know how much they hotfixed it by. I'm not exactly sure. I need to actually drink some tea. I'm starting to feel like my voice gone. I have an oolong tea today that's like really, really refreshing. Oh, that was good. I once got a fish, didn't even last a day. If it died in the first day, chances are it was either already sick from the store or experienced shock from acclimating. So there's fish can experience temperature shock, which is when you drop them into water that's the different temperature than what they were in. That can hurt and or kill them. And then pH shock is the other one that not a lot of people prep for, where the acidity of the water is different than what you put them in, and both of those things can shock and sometimes kill a fish. And then if you ever got a fish as a kid and then had to die within like a week, chances are that if it was an uncycled tank, that can also very easily kill fish. Dungeons are faster until you start getting dire maul, so around level 40. After that, do quest till 58, and then dungeons while questing it. Okay. Quests, and then dungeons that make them somewhat... Oh yeah, that's true, the dungeon quests. I don't think I've done enough of the dungeon quests to be out of them yet. Dungeons are faster, otherwise just grinding them. No. Did you eat the fish? This fish? No. Oh, you're asking Dalal. Yeah, no. I would never recommend eating a pet fish. I have heard that if you have a fish and it reaches the end of its life and you like flushing them is bad. I don't know why, but I know that flushing them is bad. I think it has something to do with either parasites or it's bad. You're not supposed to flush them. But and I don't think I would be able to stomach just throwing him in the garbage. I think I would just cry. That would hurt me too much. He's my buddy. But if you bury them in your garden, the fish's body apparently is actually very good for quite a few different plants. And the same thing for actually aquarium. Water from water changes apparently can be very good for plants. I want a big aquarium like when I was a kid. They're fun. It was supposed to be fun and relaxing. And it's fun, and it is sometimes relaxing, but I feel like I spend more time stressing out, making sure that everything is perfect, than I do actually relaxing watching my fish. I'm usually, like, looking at my fish, like, looking at his fins, or, like, making sure he doesn't have any spots, or, like, trying to see if he's happy. I'm just, like, I'm worrying about my fish more than I'm enjoying my fish, but, you know, maybe one day I'll reach a point where I know his tank water is super stable, and that he's just good. Because if I ever get that far, I would like to do another one, actually. I would like to do a second betta tank with a, like, a koi betta in it. I was very disappointed when I recently learned that koi betta, because they're made with they're bred with the marbling gene, and that's how they look like koi, they don't stay looking like koi. Like, their colors will change. But, you know, marble bettas are still pretty. Work is getting wonky. Thank you for the stream. Have a great night. Have a great night. We got a cat. It ran away after 3 days. We left the door open. You seem to have terrible luck with pets. Oh, no. Like to get into tea. Do not know where to start. You have to go a go-to website where you get gear and tea. Kind of, yeah. So for your basic, like your first teapot, and then a kettle if you don't have one, and some starter tea, you can actually do surprisingly well on Amazon. Not so much for tea, but for the equipment. I have a page where I've recommended stuff that I personally have and use on stream on Amazon. It's Amazon/shop/Hazelnuttygames. On there is a teapot. It's called a 4Life teapot. That is this teapot here that I use. It contains, it's not in here because it's in the kitchen, but it contains a big basket that infuses your tea, and it's like big enough that it's got room for the leaves to actually unfold. You're going to get better flavor from your tea. It's very easy to clean, and you can actually use it with other cups and stuff too. So that's the teapot I recommend for getting started. If you are looking for a kettle, you can just do like a basic kettle, but if you're ever looking for a temperature control kettle, then you want the one that I have up there. It's a little bit expensive, but it lasts a really long time, and it lets you program different temperatures. So green teas, for example, if you brew a nice green tea with boiling water, it's going to be really bitter and gross. It's just too hot for the tea. But you want to do it at 170, and instead of trying to let it cool down and guess, the temp control kettle just gets it to that temperature, and then you're good. What am I doing? I'm looking for another coyote tail. I have such a hard time questing and streaming. I used to be better at this. I don't know how I got worse. Bury them in your garden so a bird can dig it up for a quick snack. I suppose it's always a possibility. I wish allied races could be more classes that could heal. Yeah. Lightborn can do priest and paladin. And then you've got like Dark Iron Shamans, but yeah, you're right. I think there's not that many healing classes, especially on the Horde ones. Flushing fish is bad because you introduce bacteria and other infections in the water. Sewer systems are sometimes not equipped to handle. Oh, okay. Hi from New Brunswick. Hello. Happy Friday. Enjoy your streams. Thank you. Thanks for your Blood of Sargeras farming guide. Very helpful. My brother also says you have good pet advice. Got 14 bloods off 1 loot. Nice. I feel like my biggest blood windfalls are usually when I finally suck it up and spend like the 1,200 order resources to do a blood mission. It's such good gold, but it's so many order resources, and I have to do world quests for more order resources, and I've been really lazy lately. I've been not spending a whole lot of time lately. Do you like David's tea? I have had tea from David's tea before. It's one of those places, kind of like Tivana, where you're going to get something that's going to taste nice, but you're going to pay so much for it. And a lot of what you're getting when you buy it isn't actually tea. You know, you've got like flower petals in there, you've got artificial flavoring. Sometimes they use filler. I would rather take that same money and spend it on a website like Unit Sourcing and get authentic, actual tea that's just tea. It hasn't been flavored, it hasn't been sprinkled with anything. You're not paying for coconut husks and you know, calendula hips or anything. It's just tea. And a really good quality tea is going to be, you're going to be able to steep it more often. You're also going to get more of it. Did you dye your own hair or did you get it done? I probably should have gotten it done. I dyed it myself. I haven't even paid for a haircut for like 10 years. If you ever see me with a really awful bang trim, it's because I did it myself and I'm cheap. So I dye it myself at home as well. I noticed you drank your entire cup of tea. Have you heard of the tradition in China where you drink the tea in 3 sips? I haven't heard of that. It sounds right up my alley. Yeah. I really like the smaller teacups because the tea stays pretty hot in the pot. And I often, because I'm like talking for ages and I'm playing WoW, I get distracted. I have trouble sometimes. Why am I not getting credit for eavesdropping these thugs? Is it because somebody else was also eavesdropping on them? Was I not in the right spot? Oh no, I just had to kill them. There we go. Yeah. My tea used to get really cold when I had it in like a big mug. And then this was better because it's a less amount of tea, so I drink it more quickly. And then I just pour more, and then the new tea is hot. You'd think that it would cool down so quickly that it would null out, but it works. Nadine's representing. We need another class that isn't leather. Oh man, they could definitely stand to add mail. I hope that they do the Shadow Hunter sort of Priest Hunter hybrid and make it a mailwear. Beautiful day in the capital city. Happy Friday, team. Love you, Hazel. Happy Friday. Ugh. You found out Mythic BRF is soloable without a Shadow Priest? Mythic BRF is soloable now? I guess it must be. I don't run WoD raids. I should. I don't even run mop raids. My raid farming ends in Cataclysm. I got in the habit of farming the Cata raids up to the Cata raids back in mop, I guess. Maybe Warlords, and I just never really advanced. I know that it's not that hard to solo Miss the Pandaria raids, but I feel like every time I go into a mop raid to try and farm something, I get, I didn't raid in mop. I played through the entire expansion, but I didn't raid in mop, so I don't really know what the raid mechanics are, except in Siege of Orgrimmar. I did Siege, but I didn't do the other raids. So I'm in Heart of Fear, and then something happens, and I get like perma-stuck, or I get like perma-stunned, or I can't get to the boss, or there's mechanics that I don't quite understand well enough to prevent from getting myself into trouble. It creeped out when people that you don't know say that I love you, or do you just get used to it? I think that's pretty benign. I feel like when somebody says I love you to like a streamer on the internet, I feel like that's it's a very sweet thing to say, but it's kind of a different thing than somebody saying that to you in person. So I don't take it with the same level of gravity, and therefore it's not really creepy. People have sent me some stuff that I would classify as creepy, but not usually in stream chat. You guys are really chill. Kind of music do you like? I lately have been on like a 2-year-long kick of listening to a lot of Korean music, so K-pop, but also K-R&B and K-rap and hip-hop. Mostly just that. I don't listen to a whole lot of Western music unless there's something new that I'm just really into. Well, the live stream, you got to go talk to your guildies, hopefully do a timed Kara run. Cross your fingers. Good luck on the mount. Have you heard the hacker DDoS Blizzard? I did hear about that. I was surprised that was considered serious. Like, obviously it's bad, but I was surprised that they actually got extradited to the US for that. I got a kick out of that. Finally made it for the live stream. Hooray for days off. Welcome. Ugh, I hope that you had a good week, and I hope that you have an even better weekend. Kitty, you want up? You want up here? Yeah. Cat. You're looking like you want to come up. Yeah, I know. You've been healing dungeons for about 30 minutes now, and all the ones you ran had a strength limit instead of an int one. I mean, it's the same experience granting. You're set there. Oh, Kitty, I need the mouse hand. Kitty, I need the mouse hand. Piqued my interest with the. Oh, Kitty, that's my cup. I caught it. she butt slid it. Kitty, that's my keyboard. Oh, all right. Can you guys see her? Let me check. She's kind of on my mouse cable. No, you can't see her anymore. This is what's happening right now. Hi. You're just gonna hang out there, huh? All right. I'm not gonna make you move. Makes great content, and I like battle pets. Almost 100k subs. Go, go, go. I think I'm the one that needs to go, go, go. I need to make some more videos. I have had a couple of bad weeks for that. Solo 1 Pandaria raid trying to get the Horde on mount. No luck so far. You already got all the transbog you want from Mythic BRF. They made Blast Furnace solo ball. Oh, okay. Thoughts on Racial's going to be a fade? Do you want them toned down or more significant? I feel like I would be fine. I don't want them more significant. I think they're at a good level. I don't want racials to be so powerful that it is considered mandatory to be a certain race, even in casual to like. I'm a heroic guild. I basically just don't want it. I don't want to be wrong for playing the class the race that I want to play. Cutting edge people will always min-max, and I think there is a correct race class combination for every class that somebody in like a mythic world first guild would use. But I don't want it to be so good that I feel bad for not doing it, basically. And then in PvP, I think that racial should be disabled in PvP. Do I think that? I guess I do, because I said it. It sounds controversial. I don't like racials in PvP. I appreciate what they're trying to do with them. I don't like feeling, I don't know. They seem to cause more frustration than they do fun. But that's just for me. How long did it take you to become a successful YouTuber? It kind of depends on what you call successful. I started making enough money to call it an actual job and not just a pipe dream probably about a year ago, and I've been going for 5 years. So I spent a solid 4 years of my life really getting very little done. Mom reflexes. Just when your kitty jumps in, mine came at the window, so amazing. Hate a Blackrock desk. We did 2 bosses. I'll never level that way. Oh, man. I gotta, hang on. I know I gotta show you guys. So my mouse hand, right? Mouse hand. Hang on. There we go. There's the mouse. There's the cat head. Mouse, cat head. Kitty. Kitty. Ugh. I like the kitty sweater combo you've got going on. That's how I power up. Do more collabs. I haven't even edited the last collab I did, which was the first one in 5 years. Starting to get cold in Australia. Now all my cats are crawling under the blankets and wanting cuddles. I think that might be my favorite part of fall. Like, my cat is always cuddly, but she's extra cuddly if it's starting to get cold out. Although it's very warm in here, and she's doing her best to cuddle with my wrist anyways, so I can't really complain. Handmaiden and Dragon Soul only drop in Huruk. Saw your Locket video, looking to farm it. I think Handmaiden is Huruk only. I'm not 100%. I know that Blazing Drake is the one from the final boss that drops on normal. Or can drop on normal. It can also drop on Huruk. I need to add a note, though. Actually, you know what we're going to do is after I finish... Actually, no, let's just do this now. I'm going to log over real quick and try out that lockout, because I've now realized that I may have put out some misinformation regarding the lockout. It looked like it was intact, but I need to try it again. I need to try it again and try and actually run it in other characters. So I am going to take my... What character should I use? Maybe my Death Knight? Death Knight through disable racials. Was watching while decorating my graduation cap. Tomorrow I get my master's degree in computer science. Congrats! That's awesome. Thank you for great background content. The other day, I accidentally stayed at Tank DK, was DPSing in Taurus, and got kicked out. Oh dear. Favorite mount, excluding BFA stuff? Probably the Nightmare, what's it called? Lucid Nightmare. I should know what it's called if I'm going to call it my favorite. Any tips? Tips about what? More importantly, tea tips. What's the best, and what's the best for an early tea drinker? Like a new tea drinker, or a tea drinker who's drinking tea early in the morning? It kind of depends on what you're coming from, and what you're already used to drinking as far as beverages go. Somebody that's been used to drinking like a lot of coffee is going to want a more strong and flavorful, but potentially a strong and flavorful tea, but is going to be more tolerant to a bitter tea. Somebody who's drunk exclusively like soda and pop and sweet drinks is going to want something that's a little bit sweeter but less bitter. And then somebody that's just like into water is going to appreciate like the finer points of like really delicate green and white teas. I think Oolong is a nice entry point for anybody. It's really hard to pick favorites. They're all good in their own way, and they're all very different. If any of you are beer people, it's a very similar thing to that. There's different types of beer will taste vastly, vastly different, but they all have their own characteristics that make them good. All right, so heading out to Dragon Soul. So this is what I'm looking at. This is where I'm at right now. Raid info. My Dragon Soul raid says Madness is available. So I'm gonna head out there and do the things that I recommended in my vlog. And if this does not work, then I will update it. Handmaiden's Heroic only. My cat jumps on my shoulder, headbutts me when I'm at my computer. Cats are so cute. Sometimes my cat will get I think she's jealous of the computer. She'll try and take my hand off of whatever, like the keyboard or the mouse, in order to put it onto the cat. She'll try and like get pets that way. You got your Unborn Valkyr. You've been super unlucky farming it for years. You understand the importance of awesome battle pets more than he does. Congrats on the Valkyr. That one is so important for so many different strats. That's going to feel so good to have one. How long have you played WoW for? Since the ICC patch. So 2008? 2008, about 10 years, I think. Got back into WoW about a month ago after a little decade break from it. Watching your videos while I play, you've got me back into drinking tea over coffee. Keep up the good work. It sounds like you are on absolutely the best path. Some good WoW and a cup of tea is my idea of a good, most days actually. Most days. I love Earl Grey tea. Earl Grey is very tasty and relaxing. I've only drunk English tea and I want to expand my tastes in tea. Okay, if you've drunk English tea, you're probably into like strong black teas. If you want to expand to something a little different, I would say try some oolongs. There's a lot of oolong teas that are good both on their own or with milk and sugar, if that's what you like. And try an oolong and try a pu'er. So finding a good starter pu'er is a little bit tough. You want to look for a ripe or show pu'er, S-H-O-U. If it says shung, S-H-E-N-G, then that's not the one that you want to start with. That's less beginner friendly. And just like a nice drinkable one. The velour pu'er from Tao of Tea is good. I need to find one that I can recommend online that's really easy for people to buy from different countries, because people ask me this all the time and I don't have a really good recommendation. One day, I would love to sell you guys some tea. I would love to like curate and sell you guys tea that I can confirm is the good stuff. Okay, so we're going normal, 25 man. I'm going to zone in. And then I'm going to list my private group for my other character to join after I finish zoning in. Do you think the BFA beta cinematics of Thrall and Deathwing are the greatest thing? I think they're really funny. Oh no, you're right. The 100 instance already in progress if the bosses are killed. Oh, drat. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't work. Never mind. It doesn't work. I thought it worked because the lockout was still available on the thing, but it doesn't work. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna do that right now before I forget. It's like, oh. Can I remember in half an hour? I'm gonna make my phone remind me. I need to post an amendment because that thing that I said in the vlog that I said was true is not true. I might even try and edit it out. Post note on vlog. Oops, I lied. I didn't mean to, I promise. Oh gosh. Today at 5. Alright. Sorry guys. I thought it would work. It looked like it would based on my raid lockout, but apparently it doesn't. There might be still some kind of a way to do it, but clearly the way that I thought was working was not going to work. Lucky thing is that it at least I got it. Sample packs from Mutant Sourcing, and as a coffee drinker, I'm in love with the charcoal white tea. Oh, sample packs is a really good idea. I'm so glad that you got some from Mutant Sourcing. They're my favorite tea vendor. Just flew down. It was raining, but you couldn't find the baby ape, and then it stopped raining. Oh no. They increased the spawn rate around VoD. You kept 3 of them for multiple purposes, as well as a multiple icky. Well, that's good of them, at least. I wish they would do that for the Nexus Whelpling. It's so hard to recommend that people get Nexus Whelplings when they're so hard to find these days. Kitty, it's hard to see around you. By Hazel, by chat, by cute cat. Firelens does work. Tried it a couple weeks ago. Okay. I'd be down to buy tea from you. Yeah, nobody get too excited about that. I haven't even started selling shirts yet. But that's like a one day dream. You've always drank Irish tea. You like it for the high caffeine, but you have to add milk or sugar. High caffeine, not as strong as taste. I know how that feels. I actually ordered my first Scottish tea, not quite the same thing, but similar. And it's a really strong one. It's really thick. It's very caffeinated, but it needs the sugar, otherwise it gets a little bit gross. High caffeine without the bitterness. I would just tone it down to an English breakfast. I would try to find a good, strong English breakfast. The one that I drink, I don't know how it's going to do in caffeine content compared to that one, but it's been very good for me, is just the Stash Loose Leaf English breakfast. You can get it from their website. You can buy it in bulk on Amazon, actually. I think I paid like $15-ish, and I got a pound of it, which lasted me like years. The Stash Loose Leaf English breakfast has like a good full flavor. It seems to have a good enough caffeine. I haven't measured it, but it gets me started. And that one I think is nice enough to have with milk, but no sugar is how I usually take it. Maybe you go in with all your characters except the lockout, and then go in and kill the boss and all your tunes. Oh, that might work. That might work, actually. It might work, it might not work, because like the character that I was on was not present for that kill. She was not in the raid for that kill, but that raid instance updated, and then it wanted her to accept it. So I bet you it would do the same thing. I don't know for sure, but I bet you it would do the same thing that we just saw, where it's like accept the 8 of 8. Hazel's making her own tea brand. You gotta calm yourself. It probably wouldn't. I don't know if it would be a brand. These are hard questions. I'm just here to play WoW and pet my cat. How much would you dislike us if someone anonymously sent you 5 Arctic fox pups? Like in real life? Like a cat with the energy of a dog. In real life? Oh no. Oh no. Exotic animals are not. I'm not an exotic animal keeper. I would have to rehome it. It would be awful. I would be heartbroken. It's cute, but I'm not equipped to care for something like that. And honestly, I don't think they should be domesticated. Macros you use to help with Shadow Priest dots. I don't use any macros to help with dots. I actually have very few macros in my Shadow Priest at all. I have very few macros in my Shadow Priest. What macros do I have? I don't think I have any. For keeping track of my dots, basically what I do there is I have add-ons that show me very clear raid frames. So in a raid situation where you have like multiple bosses that you're trying to maintain all your dots on, the boss frames are very important there. So I use shadowed unit frames, which is this unit frame out on here, to make sure that I have really clear and obvious boss frames. I have a talent point I can spend. Same thing for nameplates. So these nameplates, these are KUI nameplates, and those will show over. Do I have any dots? I don't know if I have dots. Maybe I'm not set up. But on my Shadow Priest, the dots will also show over the nameplate, so that's another way that I keep track of it. Hazel, what do you think about high elves that aren't happening? Oh man. I'm not against high elves. I just think it's unlikely. And I probably wouldn't play one myself because I already have the Void Elf, and I know that they don't have the same kind of level of established story depth, but they are purple, and as somebody that's not super into lore, purple is more important to me. My experience, the lockout holder should not be in the raid instance to preserve the lockout. Okay. Maybe we should experiment with this then, because that was how I got the lockout to accept my second character. So let's try. Oh no, I don't. Never mind. I was gonna try it on stream, but I don't want to clear 7 of 8 again. Because what was happening was when the priest wasn't in the raid, even if she was in the group, I was getting kicked from the raid. I think I was getting. No, was I getting ported out? I don't remember. Hazelnutty sounds like a tea brand. I don't think I have an ability that isn't macroed in any of my characters. I have more macros for some characters than others. Like my Resto Druid that I PvP on, I have macros out the wazoo. I'm like capped on macros on that character. I have mouse over macro. Well, not anymore. I used to have mouse over macros for all healing, but what are we looking for? Still more Gore-Tex flanks. Lots and lots of macros for PvP. Like, I don't even remember what they all do. I guess mouse over and focus macros. That's what it was. It was focus macros for targeting. Not mouse over, actually. I don't use mouse over in PvP, but what I did use was I would use shift mod macros. Because on my druid, I had too many buttons. I had more than 24 buttons that I needed to use. So I would have to hide some underneath other ones using a shift modifier. More dots. More dots now. Finally back from a little awkward LFR. That's the best kind of LFR. That's the best kind. Kitty. She's trying so hard to turn my mouse hand into a pillow while still having it be a mouse hand. I was watching your TSM guide, trying to post some transmog items, says the maximum price is invalid. Do you know why? That can sometimes happen if it gets out of whack with the market. It kind of happens to me sometimes, and honestly, I don't have a really good troubleshooting idea. I usually just give up, and then later it works. You can try refreshing and double checking on your TSM app, but it's usually a problem with pulling from the TSM app. It happens with me every now and then, but it's never annoyed me enough for me to actually look for a better solution than just waiting for it to get better. I realize that's not a very constructive solution, and you can, TSM has like a help forum section that is probably going to be more helpful than me. Hazel kisses from Argentina. No problem. Should have a box all duplicate pets thing for people who don't care about breeds and want gold. That would be nice for people that don't care about breeds. The problem is if you want to keep one of one breed, you want to sell one of a different breed, and you want to manually choose which one to box. Mario, thanks for the super chat. Sign me up for the first batch of hazelnutty tea. Oh man, I know Mario, so I know that he's mostly trolling me, but I will do my very best to remember should I come out with something like that. Coffee drink, I also enjoy green tea and a black peach tea. What other teas do we recommend? Try an oolong. Try an oolong. There's flavored oolongs. There was actually a peach oolong on Adagio tea that was really nice, but also unflavored oolongs. I've been trying to find a there's a type of them. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's an oolong that naturally tastes like butter, I think. Or not like butter, but kind of like a buttery flavored milk tea. Milk oolong. But not with milk in it. It's just supposed to taste like milk. I've been really wanting to find one, but the one that I did try gave me really horrible headaches, and I've been kind of spooked off of it ever since. But I've been wanting to try it. Take pets out of all groups, just use quick post. I get by with selling pets in one battle pet group, but I'm also not super picky about maximizing margins for breeds or anything like that. They do post though. They used to not, but they did patch it so it does post now. I need just one. I always get stuck in this part of the quest. They never have quite enough flesh rippers. I might just like sit here and drink my tea and pet my cat until more spawn. Hello Hazel, I can't choose between Alliance or Horde. Void Elves can't cover most classes while Blood Elves do. On the other hand, I prefer Alliance themes much more except for the Shaman choices. So, I would say pick your class first, and then go from there. Because if you are set on being the Void Elf or a Blood Elf, and the class that you want to be can only be a Blood Elf, then that kind of makes your decision for you. But if you prefer the Alliance themes and the class can also be a Void Elf, then just do that. It's alternately, pick which one you decide. You like I feel like Battle for Azeroth is kind of a good expansion for deciding. My cat is so cuddly right now. It's kind of a good expansion for deciding what kind of faction that you want, because there are like the cinematics and the cutscenes are designed to be very visceral and make you feel a kind of faction pride. So if you watch the Battle for Azeroth cinematic trailer and you're still like, I feel like one of the factions will speak to you more than the other one. Better to sponsor here on YouTube or direct on Patreon? Which do you prefer? Honestly, they're both about the same, so I always recommend that people do whichever one has the perks that they want, whether you would prefer to have the chat badge and the chat emotes, or if you would like to be part of the Battle Pet giveaway and vote on the baking streams. Detail-oriented and have a very short attention span. I have a slightly longer attention span when I'm not streaming, but honestly, it's not all that much better. Oh, there's flesh rippers. You tried to drink tea one time in school, thinking it'd be all healthy and stuff. You got kind of sick that night, and that killed my attempts at getting into tea. That can happen. It's so easy to be put off some kind of food just for like something completely unrelated. You can even know it's unrelated. I like, you can just if you're coming down with like the flu or a stomach bug, like the thing that you ate right before then is usually just cursed. It doesn't matter if that's not what made you sick. It's just doom. Watched any good anime lately? I can't say that I have. I watched a lot of anime as a teenager, but I haven't watched a whole lot of it as an adult. Darkmoon XP buff worth picking up even with full heirlooms? Yeah, technically it is. I'm really lazy. I have it right now, but I'm often too lazy to go back, especially if it's going to take me, like, if there's a lot of travel time to get back to where you were questing, then, like, if you're a low-level character, you don't have a very fast mount yet, and it's going to take you forever to get back to where you're questing, sometimes I just don't bother. But it is technically worth it, yes. I wouldn't mind seeing Alliance if Horde didn't have Shaman choices like Orc or the New Zealand Trolls. It's almost unfair. I do prefer the Horde races for Shaman, for sure. I definitely I prefer the Horde races for Shaman, and I need to... Hang on. I need to reset. This is how I recharge my Hazel battery. I prefer the Horde races for Shaman, and for Paladin, I prefer the Alliance choices. It's how I feel about that. The faction pride is so true. I cried with happiness when I saw Sylvanas in all her beautiful glory. My Horde pride is strong. See, I had the same thing. I felt the exact same way, but about Anduin and his about the Anduin moment. I got that feeling from. Harvest Watcher, did they fix this quest yet? I guess there's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out if they fix this. When in doubt, roll Bandar. That is true. Noobish question, but what AI do you use? Not noobish at all. It's not a package or anything. It's basically, I have shadowed unit frames for the unit frames up here. Nameplates are KUI nameplates. The bars are bartender. And that's the basics of it. For a cast bar, whenever I'm casting something, that bar is Gnosis, Gnosis. Is Death Note any good? Yeah. My cat is actually named after the main Death Note character. My cat's name is actually Kira. Mostly just call her Cat. But yeah, Death Note, I think as far as animes go, if you're not an anime person and you want to get into anime, I would say Death Note and then Attack on Titan are probably the two best, like, intro to anime type of shows. Are you a tea dunker? If you are, chocolate biscuits or hobnobs. If I'm having, like, a strong, like, English tea with milk and sugar, then I am a dunker, and I prefer hobnobs. But they're usually in the import section or specialty shops here in America. Americans are, honestly, most of them, not all of them, but most Americans don't have kettles. They just don't. You ask them how to heat up water, they'll just, like, stick it in the microwave. Or like a pot in the stove. It's horrifying. There is a fishy? There is a fishy. Hey, Hazel, how you been? Hey, Frank. I have been pretty good. This quest is not fixed, no. I'm not even gonna. I'm just leaving. They did not fix it. That's kind of terrible after all this time. This has been out for a while now. Should I bug report? What if they just don't know? What if they just don't know? Like, obviously they have more important things to worry about right now. Help. Submit bug. What's this quest called? It's alive. It's alive. Quest in Westfall. Goes extremely slowly. Due to extremely slowly. Mob health seems unreasonable compared to the damage the vehicle does. There we go. They're making a live action Bleach movie. I hope that goes better than the live action. I watched a little bit, not all of it, but I watched a tiny bit of the live action Full Metal Alchemist. Honestly, the acting was fine. The adaptation wasn't bad, but the wigs were awful. They had like cosplay wigs for the whole thing. I was so distracted. I couldn't. Oh no, I'm not doing that quest. That's right. I couldn't even with the wigs in that show. It was something else. The hobnob, it's a kind of cookie. Have you ever been to South Africa? I have never been out of North America. Never been to Africa. Never been to Europe. Never been to Australia. Never been to Asia. Can't have anyone new to anime watch anything over 24 episodes the first time around if you wanted to actually like it. That's probably true. An awesome biscuit. Just do it without the vehicle. A cat stretch. No one new to anime is gonna watch One Piece. What is Hazelnuttery? Hazelnuttery? I don't know. I don't think it's a thing. It sounds like something that I would make. Especially if I was like making, like if I was like selling cookies. I don't know why I would sell cookies. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and this might lose me some friends. I don't really like cookies. They're only okay. Like, I don't even really like cake. It's okay. I don't hate it. It's not gross. I don't hate cookies. They're not gross. But as a child and a young adult, I used to really enjoy cookies. And now I don't really want them. You know, I'll eat one if somebody offers it to me. I don't want to be rude. But I never, like, want a cookie. And, I don't know what's happened to me. I still love dessert. I love ice cream. I love pie. I love cheesecake. I'm not trying to cut calories here. I just don't like cookies anymore. I don't know what happened. Even Oreos are kind of like, I'm just gonna have to go brush my teeth. I would rather just eat, like, cheese. Give me a plate with, like, some nice, not even nice, just, like, a plate with, like, a couple different types of cheese. You know, a little bit of brie. It'd be good. Good stuff. You said it when you drank your reset tea. Oh, it was probably a Hazel.exe error. Favorite cookie to have with tea? Well, I know I just said I don't like cookies. But if I'm having a cookie with tea, I don't know if it counts as a cookie, but biscotti. Like a good fresh biscotti is really good with tea. That's probably my favorite. I don't get them very often. I actually agree with the cookie thing. Ice cream is where it's at. Hazelnut battery. How would the next expat go if you were the creative director? Oh dear. If I was the creative director, some bad hiring decisions happened. I don't really put a whole lot of thought into the story direction, honestly. I would have to like sit down and do some like, you know, like if I'm ever trying to make a story, which I haven't done for a long time. I haven't done any kind of creative writing in years. I used to like map things out and make a bunch of notes. I always did it very character based, so I'd have characters. I would try and figure out what those characters wanted, and like a couple of things about the characters, like traits that they have, and then try to find situations that let them struggle with the things that they have. I would always start with my characters and then add everything else second. But I haven't done it in so many years. It would be terrible. Dropping this channel now. Cookies are real and deserve the respect. I will accept that unsub. I deserve it. I feel betrayed. I'm sorry. Cheese for the win. They have cherry cola Oreos with Pop Rocks in them. I have actually eaten that. I have actually eaten that like a week or two ago. My husband likes buying really bizarre cookies and like snacks, like the weirdest ones that he can find, and then he brings them into work and then he like gives them to unsuspecting people at his office, I think is the plan. So we had some of those, and before he took them in, we tried them, and that was the weirdest cookie I've ever eaten. I don't know that I didn't like it, but I don't think that I liked it. It was an experience, and then like you have it and you're like trying to process like this Coca-Cola flavored Oreo thing, and like chocolate and cola should never mix to begin with, but it was kind of working, and then all of a sudden it starts popping in your mouth. It's just, oh man, that was something. What can I do to level through Warlords without being in Draenor? Go do a whole lot of archaeology. All of the archaeology. Queue a couple dungeons, do all the archaeology. It will take you longer, but then you don't have to go to Draenor. You like all the dessert with a ton of sugar now? I guess so. I suppose so, yeah. You'd rather cut the cheese to eat a cookie? Maybe you need more mature cookie flavors like ginger. Do you like scones? I kind of like scones. I like scones and my grandmother baked them. If it's just a scone from like a store, I can probably leave it. There was actually one type of cookie that my mom makes. It's like a sesame seed cookie. It's like not a super sweet one. But it's got like toasted sesame seeds in the outside of it, and those are really good. Custard creams. Puts you in Draenor to get your garrison started to the point you can buy XP potions. True. Fly around opening treasures. That's true. Hazel, I gotta tell you something. What's up? I don't like chocolate, and it seems to offend people. There's always some things that, like, if you don't like them, it's sometimes just best to keep it to yourself. Like, if you hated puppies or if you hated pizza, you're not going to find a lot of common ground with people. There's going to be somebody that you find common ground with, but you're going to, like, people just won't understand. And on record, I do love both puppies and pizza. Husband, no unsubbed. Oh, man. What would happen if Blizzard switched flasks for cookies? Probably nothing unless they decided to make them on cooking. Like if they... I mean, we kind of have cookies. I feel like, I don't think they would switch flasks to cookies, but I could totally see, like the raid food for a tier or an expansion or whatever being baked goods instead of like feasts. Like we do an expansion where there's just like, you know how like, MoP was kind of China based and like certain regions of WoW kind of resemble certain regions in the real world. If they had one that was like Western Europe, like France and Italy and like the bakeries, and they had like a race that was super into baking, I could totally see the recipes for that expansion being just like cookies and cakes and appetizers and stuff. You know, it was delicious when the answer starts with, it was an experience. It's kind of like how when somebody is like reviewing your work or like something that you made and they tell you that it's interesting and that's the nicest thing they can say about it, it's usually not good. I too dislike chocolate. Chocolate is medicine. My coworker calls it vitamin C. Stop talking about food, please. I am actually making myself hungry too. New to the stream, how are you? Welcome, RPM Nexus. I'm doing quite well. I always enjoy being able to sit here and talk with you guys because it's probably the most human interaction I get all week. And I get to play WoW and not feel bad about it. Oh, I'm stuffed right now? I mean, at least you're not hungry. It could be worse. Meeseeks, look at me. If you could make a specific flavor for a Shadow Priest biscotti or cake. Shadow Priest biscotti or cake flavor. So it'd have to be purple. What flavors go with purple? Like, grape comes to mind, but I do not want a grape cake. I don't want grape cake. I don't want grape biscotti. Blueberry, maybe? Or like lavender. Oh, if you could find a way to balance. Lavender is tough to do in food. You've got to be really light with it, otherwise it just ends up tasting like potpourri. But if you could get like a nice, like lavender herb cookie. So there's this donut place in Portland. It's called Blue Star Donuts. It was the new cool thing after Voodoo. I've heard that there's a new cool thing, but anyways, I still enjoy Blue Star Donuts, and they do like weird flavors that you wouldn't expect. Like my favorite is the blueberry bourbon basil donut. And then there was another one that was like a raspberry rosemary. And like these herbs are like savory herbs that you wouldn't expect to be really good in a sweet thing, but they were. Like a raspberry rosemary biscotti. Or if you could like find like a savory herb that pairs really well with lavender and make that into a cookie, that would be really good. Raspberry cherry. Hazel said it, my work is done. I've been able to knock some of my alt class mounts. You knock out some of your alt class mounts? Nice. You've read somewhere that people that don't like chocolate have slightly different taste buds. Chocolate doesn't taste the same. That sounds perfectly plausible. There's definitely foods that will taste different to different people. I think cilantro is like the big example. Some people, cilantro will taste like cilantro, and to some people it tastes like soap. It's not your fault, and nothing wrong with you. It's just how you are. Tapioca is purplish. Grape cake doesn't have much flavor. Poison cake, just dye it purple. My favorite mount is probably the Lucid Nightmare lately. Favorite grind mount. Sugar syrup in fruit form. Got everything set up to do live streams thanks to your tutorial on the Yeti setup. Nice! Definitely my favorite starter mic. Honestly, I was writing about this morning actually. It's kind of the sweet spot between like price and performance for a microphone in that you can spend like 3 times as much and it's gonna sound exactly the same. This microphone cost me 3 times as much as my Yeti. I think it sounds exactly the same. I don't think this microphone sounds better. It doesn't sound worse. I'll keep using it. It's great, but I don't think it sounds really better than the Yeti. Purple potato, you can flavor it however, and it would be purple. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want like a weird Portlandy flavor, but I may have just have been living in Portland for too long. All right, so we're ready to go down. Oh yeah, we gotta feed the Westfall homeless. My boyfriend thinks that capsicum bell peppers have a spice to them. Sure. Yeah, why not? They're very fresh tasting. They're bright tasting. There are certain types of peppers that are a little bit in between spicy peppers and bell peppers, but like a regular bell pepper, I can't say that I've ever found it spicy. I also can't say that I've ever really found a place that I ever wanted to eat them in. Like, I'll eat them and they don't taste bad, but I've never found like a food that had bell peppers in it that I was like really excited about the bell peppers. It's never been something that I really wanted. Finally made the stream, sending love from Melbourne, Australia. Hello. We are unfortunately almost at the end. We've got like another 5 minutes of chatting and hanging out. Lavender is nice as a dessert flavor. I think that my favorite place that I've had, I think I had like a lavender cider once that was really nice. I don't know if I've had it in food that I really enjoyed, but I enjoyed the scent of it. And I feel like it would be good if it was done light-handedly enough. I've had good luck all stream with nut gambling. Nice. It's a decent mic. Is that the NT1A? Yep. That is the NT. It is a Rode NT1A. It's the anniversary edition. It came with like 25 feet of XLR cable. It was ridiculous. And then I didn't use it because the stand I have it on came with XLR cable. But yeah, it's the Rode NT1A. I feel like I would get more value out of it if I was trying to do like studio music recording. I feel like that's where you're gonna see the difference between something like this and the Yeti. But I'm just a YouTuber. I just stream and then I record voiceovers and that's really it. Is that a fish cam? That's dope. Yeah, that's my fish. His name is Fleta. He is a betta fish. He is extremely vicious. I think he's working up the courage to actually bite me when I put my hand in there. He's always thinking about it. He's tried to attack the gravel siphon before. And I think one day I'm gonna end up with a betta fish bite and I'm gonna find out how much that hurts. I don't know if it would hurt or not. I've seen him really, like, they do have teeth. Have you tried VoD? We have them here in Orlando. They're amazing. I tried VoD once just so that I could say that I did. It's like a very popular thing in Portland, but it's one of those things that it's like so popular that it's people, like the Portland hipsters will say that it's overrated. It was good. It was a good donut. Yeah, I had one that had Fruit Loops on it. The Fruit Loops were kind of stale, but I enjoyed eating Fruit Loops on a donut. That was good. Blue Star is still my favorite donut place in Portland, though. What color on your hair are you going for next? So I'm taking it back. I think I'm just going to stay in like this pink-purple color spectrum for probably a while. It's going to take some real doing to get it out of there, so I'm going to mostly just stick with these types of colors, but when I touch it up, which is probably going to be in like between 2 and 6 weeks, somewhere in there, I'm going to take it a little bit back to the... I had it like before it was this pink, it was kind of like an eggplantier purple. I don't want to go that dark again, but I want to go back to that sort of reddish or purple, red but not pink kind of. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I'm basically going to take the purple rain dye, dilute it, and add a little bit of the violet dream. I have a plan. It may or may not work. Try to fill the bell pepper. Spicy to your taste. I have stuffed peppers before. What I used to do is I would basically, I don't know if it was real food, but I would mix up garlic and ginger with cream cheese and then whatever else I was going to put in it. So sometimes that would be like some green onions. Sometimes it was like sesame seeds. No, never sesame seeds. That was weird. Was it other cheese? I don't even remember what I did, but it was basically, that was the start of it. It was cream cheese, garlic, ginger, and actually soy sauce. And I would mix all that together and I would stuff hot peppers with that. I would stuff jalapenos with that. And it was good, but it was also still really spicy. It's pronounced Melbourne? Melbourne. Okay. Do you run any EQ for your stream? No. This is just raw what the mic is spitting out. I do a little bit of audio editing for my videos, but the stream gets what it's gonna get. I had a betta named Vincent because of his red color. Orange juice is A+. I had Voodoo when they had NyQuil donuts. Oh dear. Melbourne. Okay. After you mentioned Adagio, I'm now going on a tea spending spree. If you haven't tried it yet from them, their masala chai is really good. That's my favorite Adagio tea. I've had Adagio teas that I didn't like, but that one was definitely really good. We have good citrus up here. Certain music when you rate her on WoW, or do you prefer in-game music? I don't usually listen to in-game music. I'll often be, like, if I'm just playing WoW, I'm often either watching a stream, or... I listen to a lot of K-pop and like K-R&B, but not usually while I'm gaming anymore. I put that on when I'm like cooking or like out for a walk or cleaning or something like that. Have you ever made a Yorkshire pudding? Yes, actually. We did it once for... I could have sworn that we did it once for baking stream, didn't we? Maybe we didn't. No, I made them for Christmas. Yeah, my grandfather used to make them. My grandfather used to make them every year for holidays, and then I learned how to make them. They're a little bit sad without like meat gravy, but I made them with mushroom gravy for Christmas and mashed potatoes, and that was really good. I like those a lot. I was able to get my class mounts, like my Nightborn Warlock and my Horde Druid. Man, a Nightborn Warlock on the class mount would look so cool. Same goes for Brisbane. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar. Watching you with closed captioning on YouTube is hilarious. The YouTube automatic captions are legendary in how awful they are. You would think that Google would have better audio recognition than that. Maybe it'll get better one day, or maybe it's just because I go a little bit too quickly and don't enunciate enough. But it definitely almost never gets me right. When the expansion is new, do you listen to in-game music? Because honestly, it's great. I always do, yeah, for like the first time I level, but it's usually on beta. Once it goes live, I'm usually doing something else. What level are you now? We are level 34. If I'm ever leveling a character and you want to know what level I am, I always keep it right here underneath my name on my unit frame. That's that number on the left there is my current level. So if we turn this in, we're not anywhere close to 35. I think I spent that long time trying to feed the homeless people after I was already finished. Alright, looks like we are about done. Oh, man. Oh, I have a bunch of video stuff to do this weekend, but I am taking the rest of today off because I kind of want a nap with my cat. Like, she's really cuddly. I'm really looking forward to that. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I have a vlog out today. I'm actually going to go, before I go take a nap, I'm going to go post an amendment about that farming thing because it just doesn't work. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I will be back with another stream on Tuesday morning with a Mat Run stream and hopefully some good videos next week. So thanks everybody, and goodbye.